Welcome, gamers and gamettes, dudes and dudettes, lads and lassies, to another thrilling episode of Games and Gamers. I am your gorgeous, intrepid, unbelievably strong person, which my co-host even looked at me yesterday and said, "By God, you are God's greatest gift."
I didn't say that specifically.
You did. I am Hayden, a.k.a. K.H. Hauser, and I am joined by my buddy Danger, a.k.a. DangerXtreme.
Hello, I'm here. Yes, we're finally doing the first Games and Gamers episode, which I did not think this is how we were going to record it.
No, it's not, by the way.
I'm going to be honest.
Right now, I drove 2.5 hours, we'll say 3 hours because of traffic. Went to a creepy hotel.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to talk about that before we get into it?
We'll record that separately.
Okay, we'll record that separately.
We'll record that separately because I also just remember we need to record a Doke and When.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
I gotta remember I gotta come up with a topic, but we're gonna do that.
Well, yeah.
But we're gonna talk about a brand new, one of my favorite games, The Last of Us. So,
such a good game.
Plug in your controllers, sit back in your chairs, and let's get into our game. So, The Last of Us. If you heard our pilot episode, if you want to go listen to our pilot episode, go check out that nice top corner. Or if this is on Spotify, which this may or may not be on Spotify yet, I'm not entirely sure, but it's only on YouTube, go check out the corner in the description below. If not, go check out the episode prior, where Danger and I talk about the forest in a very awful manner. Danger, I went back and listened to it. We were terrible.
Oh, I mean, it's fine. It was late. We didn't know. We don't really have a method. I mean, who knows? This may come out horrible as well.
I mean, I got a better...
It'll be better.
The problem is, I have a method in my head, and I don't share it with people.
Yeah. You're like, all right, I have an idea, and then I just kind of follow your lead, I don't know exactly what to do. So, I mean, it's fine.
I have the method in my head entirely. Yeah. Like, it's probably going to be, as we go through these, it'll be get better or worse.
I'm sure they'll get better as soon as we get a method in. But we haven't started with the method, so I mean...
If I did this by myself, my method would be fine-tuned. As stupid as it is, it'll be fine-tuned. But we are going to talk about The Last of Us. We were originally... I'm looking at my co-host right now. Going to do this a month ago.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off the show.
Yeah.
I do not know why he would refuse to play the game.
Listen.
Anytime you said it, I saw you playing Overwatch 2. So don't tell me you didn't have time. You were playing Overwatch 2 every night.
Look, I love myself some Overwatch. Okay, so... Yes, so I should have been playing it. I really should have. But for me to do it, I would have to stream. And like I don't have to, right? But I really wanted to, and I really will continue this, and us talk about this and whatnot, and us making this episode. I'm going to want to play it again. But it's like... With streaming, I really wanted to be like in the mood. Like whenever I'm recording, if I'm not in my super happy attitude, I don't feel like being on camera. Whenever I the last time I recorded
Last of Us, you don't even have a camera on your PlayStation. You don't have to worry about that.
That's a personal thing. Anyway, but yes, I will play Last of Us. But here's the thing: I've seen people play it. I've played it, and I love The Last of Us. I even seen a bunch of stuff Last of Us 2. Never saw the ending for Last of Us 2. Never saw it.
I mean, I'll be honest.
We can talk about it if you want. It's fine.
It's not part of our thing, but if you do know the ending of The Last of Us 1, you know the ending of Last of Us 2.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I know the ending of The Last of Us 1. I know everything about Last of Us 1 except the minor details. That's why I told you regardless, we can still do this episode.
Alright. If you like The Last of Us, what is Joel's last name? I had to make sure I actually had remembered it. Exactly. Fake fan. Yeah. Alright, so... We are going to go start with The Last of Us, go into a little bit brief explanation. The first one we did this, our pilot one, we kind of talked as we went through it. Problem is, that was a short game. This is a game, fun fact, if you go look down below in the description, I and only me, played this game in one full sitting.
That was amazing.
I wish more people watched it than they did. That was amazing.
I've watched, from the 2 times I popped into your stream, plus when you did it again, or when you ended it, I went to watch more of it again. I watched, maybe an hour of it, and that's not even a tenth of the whole thing. That is insane. insane to me.
I know. Like, I'm never doing something like that again unless I'm really into the game.
God, like that's gonna be like either Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. Nothing else. Like there's probably nothing besides that.
No, there's definitely other games I can do a full stream on. It's
Mass Effect maybe?
Oh, Mass Effect, absolutely. Problem is, it's a 30-hour game.
Oh yeah.
The problem is, the games that I want to are massive.
Yeah.
BioShock could be one because that would be. Hey, we're getting way off topic.
We are.
So, The Last of Us, in case you don't know, follows a fungal infection known as a cordyceps. We're going game-wise. We're not talking anything from the show. So if you want to hear a show, I'm sorry, go watch a show. It's a good show, but we're not talking about the show. So fungal infection called cordyceps starts affecting the people. Our main character, Joel, game starts off, Joel and his daughter are sitting on the couch. His daughter Sarah sleeping on the couch. Joel comes in, they talk for a minute, she gets brought to bed. She wakes up, shit goes bananas, is the easiest way to explain it. So, I promise to go more into the explanation, but we're gonna more or less follow the thing. So, Danger, you've played The Last of Us, you like The Last of Us.
Yes.
The Last of Us has a very, what's the word?
Setting?
Iconic, I'd say, opening for video. I'm gonna move my laptop.
Yes, yeah. I'm having to peek over your laptop. For y'all who don't know, we're literally like
neck and neck.
Yeah, so we're on two different couches. While I'm on like a chair, he's a couch right next to each other. The mic and laptop are on the arm of the couch.
Anyway,
it's on.
So it has a very iconic opening, I want to say.
Yes.
And the first time you played it, this got a lot of people sad. Because, spoiler alert, Sarah dies in the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Because you run through your town, you run through somewhere in Texas, like I don't know where specifically Texas. There's a god-awful place in Texas. We're not going to talk about this god-awful place in Texas.
Oh, man, we could make an episode of just you coming here.
God, we could have.
We could.
But anyway.
Oh, my.
So they're running through the town. Infection is everywhere. People going crazy. Joel makes it out of town, and him and Sarah are met with a military man, Fedra. The Fedra is looking at them and is like, do I, more or less, hey, stand where you are, makes a call in of, hey, there's a girl here. There's the little girl. Do I shoot? He was told to shoot. He shoots. Sarah gets killed. Military man gets offed by Joel's brother, and first literally 20 minutes of the game, the character you thought you were going to play as, Sarah, is killed. Very iconic, I want to say. It's a good opening scene. It shows you how brutal. It's multitude of ways. I don't know how yours take it. Okay, I'll solve my after. Danger, what was your takeaway? Not takeaway. I'm thinking of the wrong way is the thing, but what was your thought the first time you saw this?
So whenever I first saw it, I thought it was super cool. Now, whenever I saw this when the game actually came out, because I would just watch whoever uploaded it. And I really liked the intro, but due to I was younger, I didn't really feel the impact of watching it, right? Like, I thought it was super cool. It was something I've never seen before, but the emotional impact and details in it, I did not notice. Playing it was one of those things that I needed to play. I did actually get super emotional playing it the first time. I did. God, dude, the scene where he's literally just, like, starting to cry, like, holding, oh my, that hit. But one other thing, a detail you didn't point out, is literally when he calls to, like, what do I do? And he's like, are you sure? Like, it's just a kid. Like, you know this guy. You know what orders he got. You know what orders he got. He knows what he's supposed to do. And, like, just that little thing right there, like, hits even worse. Like, I didn't notice that at first.
If you're going to point out little details to me, let me point out a little detail for you.
Please, we gotta point out all the stuff.
Oh, we're going to.
Yeah, I was going to say turn it down a bit if we're going to turn on the... It's down. It's like more... Yeah. Because whenever you had the music on, it was a little loud. It was like...
we're going to have this on. Anyway, so one little detail of it is he's sitting there, military Fedra man looks at them, and Danger's like, he didn't want to, but he actually looks down, shakes his head, and is like, oh, shit, I have to do this, before he looks up. And the slow pull-up. One thing we're going to talk about big in this game, which I don't know if Danger... Like, I've picked up on this because I played through this game a few too many times.
Oh, yeah.
But there are a lot of small details that these people put into this.
Yes. You even showed me one moments ago, which I did not know that. Like, I assumed... I assumed it probably happened, but I didn't know, like, that. I didn't know that actually happened.
So we're going to talk about that later on when we get to that point. So after that... Cuts to 20 years later, Joel is living in, I think, somewhere in Seattle, I think. I don't. It's Seattle, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's Seattle.
Maybe.
I'm not good with places. He's living somewhere. Baltimore? I think he's actually living in Baltimore. Yeah, he's living in Baltimore. He's living somewhere. Anyway,
in a city.
He's living inside.
Don't you love cities?
No. I miss my country life.
Yeah.
I'm never coming back here, Danger.
It's gonna be like a year for you to...
I'm never coming back.
Alright. It was fun while it lasted.
But anyway, so cut to 20 years later, Joel is now a smuggler and has his best friend, also supposed love interest, Tess. You see what they kind of do. They are smugglers. Tess is a very powerful entity in the city. Everybody seems to know her. Trying to find a man named Robert who took off with guns of their stuff, took off with some of their stuff, guns. Go find Robert, kill him, and then you are met with Marlene, leader of the Fireflies. Those who don't know, Fireflies are a side faction, are not a faction, like more or less an anti-military group. They're considered a terrorist group, but they're anti-military group that is like the, I guess, almost antagonist of the Fedra, because anything they do, it's like, hey, fuck you guys, we're gonna do this. You run into Marlene, who is injured. Marlene then leads you, hey, I have your guns, I'll give them back to you, and double if you smuggle something out of the city for me. So Tess and Joel are like, okay. They lead her, Marlene leads them to Ellie. Ellie is your secondary main character of this entire game. Because the cover art is Joel and Ellie. Ellie's first introduction is fun. You watch the show, it's a little better. She doesn't, not a lot is explained about her, and it's a-okay. I love Ellie. She's literally one of my favorite video game characters. Not Last of Us 2 Ellie, Last of Us Ellie, because she's tougher, she's meaner, she's bitchier, she swears a lot more. So, Danger, I'll ask you this. What are your thoughts about Ellie as a character? Okay, these for the first four characters we know, the first four main characters. We get Joel, see about him, learn about Tess, learn about her, then you get to meet Ellie for the first time. We're going to do this in segments as we go through. We'll talk about story things, then we'll do segments. Then we'll talk about details as we go through.
One thing I love about Ellie is that, like, all of us, like, even me, like, most people when you're younger, you're very unaware of everything. So you're very cocky. You think you know everything when you don't. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one thing that I love about the character is when you're introduced to this character, like, you're introduced to a character who's very tough, very, like, headstrong. Like, you have this very thinks they're tough character. Which they, to be fair, growing up in that society, already a tough person. Like, but, like, that they think they know everything. When truly, as soon as you go outside of this box that she's been trapped in her whole life, as soon as she's out, she doesn't know a thing. She doesn't know any of the things. She knows, like, very little. She's wondering what all the places are, what all the old things people used to have, like what how a vehicle works. Like, she doesn't know any of this until you start going out there and you start seeing the rest of the places. And then even then when Joel will tell a bunch of his stories growing up, like a bunch of, like, problems that he's had, a bunch of like battles he's been through or encounters, and you realize she doesn't know any of this, and she starts, you see her grow up as the game goes on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's one thing I love. You start with a character that, like, typical
teenager.
Typical think I'm a strong kid, teenager, and then growing up to actually be, you know,
yeah, we can talk more about that as we go through.
Yes, but that's one thing I love. That's one thing I love.
Then you got Tess. Tess is, like I said, a very powerful character. She's a very tough...
Yes.
There's only one way to say it. She's tough Southern woman. That's the easiest way to say it.
Yes.
If I offend some of you...
She is known... No, that's fine.
No, I'm not offending you. If I offend some of you, I am Southern, so this isn't insulting.
Okay.
This is exactly like, if you go to my hometown, walk around, and say, who's the bitch? Some lady's going to walk out of the house. Me! But, anyway, so continuing on, Joel and Tess agree, okay, fine, I'll take you there. We'll take Ellie to wherever it is. We're going to take her to a Capitol building, meet up with other Fireflies. We're smuggling her out of the city. So they make their way out of the city, run away from some guards. Danger gets killed by the guards. It was hilarious.
Like that twice. But
I didn't get killed by the guards because I played through this game a god-awful amount of times.
Yeah.
Go through, we run into humans and we run into infected. We got clickers. We got runners, which are fun. Yes. I love the clickers.
Clickers are such an iconic... Like, growing up, right? Like, the clickers started kind of growing up after I saw Last of Us. Whenever I thought of zombies, clickers were always the first thing I thought of.
Because clickers are a different spin on it. I like whenever games or anything zombie-based, infection-based. We're not going to say zombie because they're not technically a zombie.
Yeah.
Anything infection-based adds a new twist.
Yes.
And The Last of Us adds... Granted, you don't see much of it, or you haven't seen much of it because you haven't played the game. I don't know what all you remember, but there are 4 different variants of this in this game.
I know the other ones, yes.
And we'll talk about it as we go, but then you have the second one, which has even more. But they smuggle her out of the city, run their way through downtown Seattle. It was Seattle. Mm-hmm. Breaking down, going through museums and stuff. They have a big old firefight. I missed an important part. Once you make it out of the city, you're walking through a little area, going up a not a trailer, it's a lobster trailer. Fun fact, it was a lobster trailer.
Didn't know that.
It's a lobster trailer that they walk through. Joel, Ellie, and Tess walk up. Joel gets bopped on the side of the head with a gun. This is an important thing. I don't know how I forgot it. But cutscene plays, and these guys are like, okay, we got people outside the city. We'll get them transferred back in. Scanning their necks. Joel, clean. Get him back in there. Tess, clean. As soon as he scans Ellie, Ellie pulls out her little switchblade, stabs him, causing Joel to kill him. To which they're like, why did you do that? And look, Ellie is infected. And then Ellie explains, I am immune. She shows a bite. Her arm is not moldy. You can just see the fungus on the inside of the skin. It's disgusting. It's cool. And then you realize, my laptop's fine, that it is... that Ellie is indeed immune. And they're smuggling her because she's down saying, they're sending me to find the cure. And then, they don't trust her, obviously. She got bit. Whatever. She got bit. They don't trust that it was 2 weeks prior. So, go through here. They run through the broken down Seattle. They run through a museum, make it to the Capitol building. And we have one of the biggest, I want to say, a very big scene in the game. Especially if you, first time playing it. If you play through it another time, it's still a heartfelt scene. But it's just a big scene no matter what. Tess, Joel, and Ellie go into this Capitol building. It's a giant golden thing. It's just a giant little golden topped building. And they're looking around. All the fireflies are dead. Tess is freaking out, like, no, there's got to be somewhere they got to go. Yeah. Joel's like, Tess, what is going on? She pulls her shirt down a little bit to reveal a bite from a couple hours earlier in the museum. And then Tess is like, this is fucking real, Joel. Word for word. That's why I like it so much. And she's running over, like, points to Ellie's bite, which is scarred over, and hers. This is hours old. It's already gotten worse. This is 2 weeks. This is fucking real, Joel. And then eventually she's like, leave me here. I'll do whatever. If I die, I die. If I turn, I'll make sure I don't turn. And then they leave. So, running through this point, we slowly got to love our character. We saw Tess and Ellie bond in their own way. Joel hates Ellie at this point. How did you feel first time when Tess actually died?
Now this one, so when I was younger, of course, with the first scene, I didn't actually hit as much. But this one, it did. Because at this time, I didn't know what was going to happen. And with this one, hit better than... Because beforehand, with the people, with the guy with the gun, them talking, whatnot, you kind of knew what was going to probably happen, and it did suck. But again, me being under understands. But with this one, the realization of, oh yeah, this was actually a while ago, and then seeing the two comparisons of the bites, that was like, oh yeah, this character, this Ellie's actually immune to them. Like this so one thing I'm wondering is that, like, my mind was immediately racing to, if she's immune, how is she immune? I didn't know what it was, and I was very focused on where I was going to go from there, because at this point, like, one thing is whenever you're younger, you're told an objective, a goal, and you complete the goal. But then whenever the goal doesn't go according to plan, then what do you do from there? Because at this point, the characters don't know anything. Mm-hmm. Like, as much as they do. They're gonna go meet the rest of the Fireflies, and the Fireflies are gonna take it from there. Then you'll probably go back, or maybe something will go wrong, and the Fireflies can tell you. There's no Fireflies to tell you what to do after that. So that was like, man, like, what goes wrong? And then all you know is to survive at that point.
And there's one other thing that is Tess suggests, well, it's not, doesn't suggest, tells Joel to get her to Tommy.
Yes.
Who is states away.
Yeah.
And they don't have vehicles in this point. Mm-hmm. It is just,
yeah,
you walk. So they got to walk for who knows, days, weeks, months to get to wherever it is, in somewhere Wyoming. Don't even know where. I think it's Wyoming. So anyway, Then they get attacked by the Fedra. Tess dies fighting. She shoots down. I think takes down 2 of them.
Yes.
And
about 2 or 3. I think it was 2.
It's less. It's more than 1, less than 5.
Yeah.
And so then you got to fight through them. You make your way out or through there. You run on down to a subway station where Ellie's breathing in spores. Another sign. She's not coughing. She's not even caring that she's breathing in these spores. Kill some guys. Run on through. Make your way out. Then Joel and Ellie have a nice little powwow of him saying, "You listen to me. I tell you to jump. You ask how high. What I say goes." Got it? That's not what he says. It's anything I say, you do it. Repeat it back to me. What you say goes. And then it kind of cuts to a little bit ahead of them going to visit their good friend, Bill. I love this first. So this is the first chunk of the game. This is the Seattle chunk of the game. It's very fun because you get a good taste of what you're going to be doing in the game. You got the stealth aspects. You got the combat aspects. You get the fact that you learn characters can die. This is not based on like Final Fantasy. Oh, this character dies, they come back, or whatever. I don't know what you play. I don't know any story games you play, so I can't come up with any comparisons.
Resident Evil.
You
don't
play
sorry.
Resident Evil.
I played 1.
You played 0, but you didn't even play it.
0. 1. It was Resident Evil 1, was it not?
You played 0.
I played 0?
I'm pretty sure.
That was fine.
No, 0 because you had the 2 Rebecca Chambers and Billy Cohen on the train. And I'm 90% sure it was 0.
Probably. Anyway, but Red Dead was what I meant to say, not Resident Evil. I saw it reappear in my head, my brain auto-corrected. Red Dead. I played Red Dead.
But yeah, stuff like that. I like this first opening chunk. Like it shows you everything of. You get to know your character on a much more fundamental level. Joel is hard. He's tough, but at the same time, he is protective of what is his. Mm-hmm. Tess was his. Mm-hmm. It sounds wrong. It sounds possessive. I don't care. Tess was Joel's and Joel was Tess's.
Yeah, they were on each other's list of people they were going to protect and people they rely on.
Well, it's very much implied that they were together.
Yeah, it was like usually a lot of peels nowadays will just see 2 people in a room and shoot them together, but there was a lot of signs there that they were like
DangerXtreme.
No,
we're bros.
No, yes, we're bros. Yes. Oh my God.
If your little brother watches this, I hope I get a picture in the mail one day.
Of what? Of us 2?
Yeah.
No. God.
Little Danger, you better be listening.
He's not gonna be listening. He doesn't care for games. He cares about his little box of games over here. And I was listening to.
Anyway, so you go through Seattle, you learn all that stuff. Like I said, I like the stealth part. You can see a lot of what the game actually has with the stealth and all that fun. Then you continue on to Bill. One of my personal favorite segments of the game. I love Bill. Bill is by far my favorite Last of Us character. Like in strictly the world of The Last of Us, it goes Bill, Ellie, Joel.
Really?
Yes. I love Bill. He's a good character. I don't care how hard and tough he is. I love Bill. But going to this town, it's a whole town that Bill has more or less cleared out himself, has traps set everywhere. Walking through, and he's like, I gotta go find Bill, see if we can get a truck. He owes me some favors. Walk on through, they blow up some stuff. Joel picks up a bow and arrow. And then Joel walks through a door and gets flung upside down by a refrigerator. The weirdest sentence I think I've ever said. But he gets flung upside down. They shoot. Ellie's protecting him Joel's protecting Ellie while she's trying to cut him down.
I love that part. I love that part so much. One of the things is the shooter games that I'm used to, there's not realistic aiming, right? But in a few games I play where there's realistic aiming, it's harder sometimes. It is definitely harder to aim with stuff, but you eventually get used to it. But when you're not used to it, it's already a little more difficult. But the fact that you're having an aim that's a little harder to get difficult, and then you're upside down,
it's inverted too, which makes it fun.
It is upside down. It's inverted. It's still swaying. You see the characters moving. You gotta try to figure out where they're going, but you're not used to it completely because you're upside down at an angle. By the way, you're not just upside down. You're at an angle.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's the difficulty didn't increase of zombies. It's just the way you're doing it did. And that alone, and then you feel like, oh no, and then when someone gets to Ellie, like you're like, oh no, this is it, and then you hear a clicker, and then you're like, fuck. It's just like, uh-oh. So I love that segment there. The Bill thing, I do not care for Bill too much. I mean, it's a cool story, cool character. Would not put him on one of my favorite characters though. But Bill's a cool segment. Love the segment, love the character, love everything that's going on. Not one of my favorite characters.
I just love Bill.
And that's cool.
His whole part of what he actually stands for in the game is why I like him. And I'll go explain to it when we get to that, because you may or may not know what Bill actually is.
Not fully. I probably as soon as you say it, I'll remember. It's okay. But one thing I also love about the one thing is he turned the entire town into his playground. Exactly. Love that. I love that so much. Like in every other game, I hate turret characters. I hate people that have traps. But when you're the guys that, I love that. I love the traps and whatnot. And tower defense, strategizing, setting up these the freaking traps you got to set up with the bricks. And if you ever think about it, all the times that he's probably killed so many zombies by now. But one thing that upsets me is how many zombies are still in the area with him setting traps around. That is one of my only things I'm upset about. Of course, it makes sense, but how did a guy get in a backyard if he's taking all of them out and it's been a very long time? That is one thing I'm...
Oh, he didn't go clear out. He cleared out specific areas. He's cleared out where he needs to be. So in his area, when we actually make it to where he is, it's clear. No, in this general vicinity. Yeah. But anyway, you shoot stuff from the fridge, you get cut down, you then get saved by a man in a mask. He's like, get your ass up. You go running through, blah, blah, blah. You get run into a little diner. Surprise, it's Bill. You come to find out Bill hates everybody. He hates Joel because he set off all his traps. He hates Ellie because she's a child. He just hates everybody. It's the most basic way to phrase it. He hates every single person in The Last of Us, except for himself. So they talk for a bit, and Joel's like, hey, Ellie's like, you owe Joel a truck. Oh, sure, I owe him a truck. Here, take my food while you're at it. And that's where you start to realize he really doesn't owe Joel anything, at least to this kind of degree. He does it because, believe it or not, Bill is a decent fellow, which makes him a good character on top of everything. But the best part about it is why I like Bill so much is he is a mirror of Joel. The show I'm going to use the show for this because the show's expanded on it, and it's a prime example of it. But Bill is the literal same as Joel. You may not pick up on it on your first playthrough, but this is what Joel could have become. Because Bill lost everything he knew and decided, fuck the world, and made wherever town he is his playground. Joel lost his entire world, said fuck the world, and didn't. He met Tess, everything went to normal. I
know, yeah. It's like the whole thing about superhero, supervillain. You could take a superhero and supervillain, the exact same story, it's just depending on what they do after that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's another cool thing.
That's why I like Bill.
That is cool. Yeah.
That's why I like Bill, is because Bill never made it out of his own sanity. Yeah. That sounds like a stupid sentence, but Bill is not an insane character. He just can be perceived as insane because he doesn't care about anybody else. Yeah. He cares about one other person, but we'll get to that one other person. Yeah. So he's eventually like, okay, fine, fuck it, let's get you a truck. Shows Joel and Ellie throughout the town. You get to have some fun. We're going to talk about one fun thing in that segment, which I actually showed you right before this. We're going to have fun with the game itself. I enjoy the gameplay of this. I like the stealth and all that. But I've also found you can break the game by, if you know where enemies spawn, you can spawn kill. I was playing the game, made it to a part in Bill's area where you're going through the house, got to let Ellie through a doggy door, and I had this little porch. Man, I want to try something. I pull out a nail bomb, toss it over. And Danger was here. He didn't see it happen, but he saw the video. Well, wasn't there when it happened, but he saw what actually happened. Toss it over the fence. Blah, blah, blah. He walks on through. Ellie walks on through. You hear a random explosion. Yeah. I found out you can spawn kill enemies, and I do that a couple times in this game.
God, you may not, but if you do, I would love to put the clip in, somewhere like and us talking about it right now because it's so funny. Because like you like throw it over, you talk cutscene players, just there's clickers here, not anymore. It's so funny on the cutoff. I love it, man. It's so good. But yeah, did not know you could do that. Where you could predict where zombies spawn. It makes sense though.
Yeah,
like it makes sense.
That's the problem is you got to play through this game a god awful amount of times to understand that. I'm not the only person that's done this.
Oh, I'm sure.
I know this for a fact.
I'm sure there's another person who's even more crazy than you that's played the game 10 times more. I'm sure there is.
But anyway, so you go on through, make it to another part of town. You see Bill sits there talking about he had a partner named Frank. You learn a little bit about him. Then you make it to his actual base. All this fun stuff. Go through the town. If we go to this part of town, we can get a truck. A truck crashed into a school. Go do that. Run. Town. Then you run into, boom, school. Get into the school. Joel protects it. Bill flips up the hood. Shit, the battery's gone. So it's like, what do we do? Anything. I don't know. We're getting out of here. Run on through. And then Bill starts to realize, man, I wonder if Frank took it. That's the only possibility. Nah, that couldn't be it. As you're about to leave the school, you run into your first boss of the game.
Yes. You keep going. I'll go afterwards.
We talked about the clicker. Because the way this game works, there are multiple stages of the infection. You have the recently infected, which are called runners. You have the ones that are kind of in between clickers and runners, called a shambler. Then you got a shambler. Then you got a clicker. Then you have what is called a bloater. A bloater is something that's been infected for years, and it's big, it's bulky, it's hulking, it's cool. It can randomly throw spores at you from a distance. The first time you run into them, you're in a little gymnasium, or a little basketball gym, however you say it, basketball gym, running, fighting, other infected, and this big freaking bloater that if it gets close enough, I'm going to tell you a fun thing I noticed in the TV show. Have you seen the TV show?
I have not seen the TV show.
There's a fun thing in the TV show. You know what happens if the bloater gets too close to Joel?
Yes.
How he sticks his fingers in his mouth and rips his head open? There's a scene in the show where the bloater, there's one bloater the entire show, which really annoys me. It was in the show for 5 minutes.
Aww.
But you see it go do that to some random person in the background. Just
yeah, people were like, we gotta make a video of that. You know something that's funny? That scared the shit out of me when I was little.
The bloater? Oh,
the
yeah.
The bloater scared. So here's the thing. When I was younger, I've seen like gory stuff before, but that messed me up when I saw it for the first time. That image, like to this day, literally have not seen that scene since then, but to this day, I remember of the scene and whatnot, and it was so like violent. Just this big guy just picks you up and just rips your face. It's so...
The last is very violent.
It's very violent. It's a very cool guy. Very violent. It really sucks they only put it once in the show.
I know.
Maybe like later in the show, just there's only 2 more, and so until there's only 3. But there should have been like 3, 5.
There are 5 bloaters that you could take on in The Last of Us.
That's fine, but that's what I'm saying. Let there be at least 3.
Oh, first season's done. The game is done.
I know. First season's done. They're done.
So continuing on, you get the thing, get everything, you make it into another house. You realize, oh crap, this is Frank's house because you see a man hanging, who hanged himself because he got bit. This is Frank, and Bill's actually upset about it. It's like, my partner died. Go in, figure out he had the truck already. Joel finds a note, optional note. You don't have to, but it's basically Frank saying, "Fuck you, Bill. I'm glad I died," which is another thing that makes me appreciate Bill more as a character because the only thing he liked in this world, Bill ruined. Bill pushed it away to the point he doesn't even want to interact with him anymore. That's another signifying thing of Bill lost his world, became an asshole. He got something to make his world better, and he pushed that away too. Joel lost his world, became an asshole. Got something, made his world better. Became what he is now, and that is why he is so much better than Joel. My personal opinion, because you see the parallels between them, honestly. Yeah. And the show also helped explain some things, and it is, I'm 90% sure it's canon. It's expanded lore and stuff.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it is. It's probably just I'm pretty sure
there are things that have changed. I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah, there obviously there. It's not. One thing is that I don't think I could do it if it was just a 1-to-1. But everything I see that they've changed. If the directors from the game helped at all with it, with the storytelling and whatnot, I could see it being canon and just a more expanded retelling.
Yeah, the only difference is Bill. Bill is dead in the show. Out of the gate.
Yes.
Which is sad.
Very sad.
But anyway, so you do all that, you get the truck, eventually you get the truck and leave, you're driving on into, I don't know where. You're driving somewhere. I can't remember the name of the place. Maybe, no, you're going to Seattle, I think. There's too many places.
Yeah.
It's been about a
That's
month.
one thing I love, though. There's a bunch of different places that you go to.
You get
a bunch of different environments. I love that, and also then like you go to the winter environment.
One fun thing we're going to talk about something in actually not far from now, but we're going to bring it up right now. Ellie steals some of Bill's stuff.
Yes.
You know you can see her do that.
Yeah. You again, just being younger. I just wanted to take things.
Well,
just wanting to.
We're gonna go like whenever I'll say it right now, and I'll use another thing because I actually showed it in here.
Yes, I know.
But you can basically, unless I saw it wrong, as you're about to leave, you can turn away when no one's looking at her. She will swipe one of his books and quickly put it into her bag.
Yeah, like that's what they love. Like she like just take things. She wants it. She knows.
The attention to detail in this game is amazing.
It is. Awesome.
I'll give you attention to detail that I guarantee you didn't know.
Probably didn't know it.
Office areas, granted, all the office areas are using the same stuff. They have pictures of random people. It's the cat. I'm 90% sure it's people who directed it or created the thing.
I think I remember that. I do
also,
think I remember that, though.
Each one has granted, I say each one. It's like a set of like 10 desks, and each one has their own unique thing on them. You have happy anniversary, happy birthdays, all these fun things. The happy anniversary desk is one of them in where we're going right now that has like 5 different notes on it. Happy anniversary from this guy. Congrats, can't believe you've been married to this guy for 10 years. You should have split up 4 years ago, and all these stupid things. I love the attention to detail that this game actually puts into it. If Joel walks underwater, he puts his hands up. If you flash a flashlight in someone's face, they'll squint and turn away.
Yeah.
The amount of detail they put into this game is better than anything I truly have seen. I've played a lot of games. No matter how much I talk, I think I said this once in games in our pilot. Yeah. I don't play a whole lot of games on stream. I play a lot of games.
Yeah.
And I do not see that attention to detail in any game. At least to this degree. Because Last of Us 2, if you blow someone's head off with a shotgun, you can see the brain hit the wall and slowly slide. They put a lot of detail into this, and I love The Last of Us.
Clearly, everyone who's worked on the game had fun with it. Like, they enjoyed it. Like, this is more than just, like, throwing money at a game. People have put passion into this
Exactly.
game. It is amazing. You don't get that as much nowadays.
Absolutely
with games.
not.
And it's very sad.
Okay, not because also, by the way, it's made by Naughty Dog. I forgot to say that at the beginning.
Yes, it was made by Naughty Dog.
Also, Danger, do you remember you get to pick our next game? Do you have our next game?
I have an idea.
Okay, I'll let you pick. You still got a little bit. We're halfway through the game.
Well, my brain is already blocked on it. I just got to see if I can get it. But I do.
Okay.
It is another game that has resonated with me for a little bit.
Good.
It is a curveball of a game. It is not one you were probably expecting.
Cooking Mama.
Two.
Cooking Mama.
No.
Okay, good.
There's 2. There's 2 games. One most likely, other one is a maybe.
All right. Anyway, so go through all that. I like that little part, Ellie. You get to see a little bit more of Ellie. You also get to see Joel and Ellie connecting to each other for the first real time when they're in the truck, and Ellie's like, how would you walk around? Why are these pages stuck together? I'm just fucking with you. See ya, dude. I love that because you get to see what Ellie actually is. She is a teenager. She's an adorable, badass teenager. And Joel is like a dad. He's an amazing, badass dad. There's no way around it. And you get to see the actual connection because Joel, at this point, slowly starts to see Sarah in Ellie. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything for a very long time. But you begin to see, he looks at her, okay, you are becoming closer because he stops calling her the girl or the kid. It's like, this is Ellie. Then later on, he starts referring to her as kiddo. Yeah, and one thing as well is like he starts teaching her things. And he starts talking to her, like when he tells her about the VHS tapes. Like as they're walking, usually he's just like just keep moving. We're not talking. Come on, let's go. But then
like when she asks a question, yeah, he's like, let's keep moving, but he'll like explain it to her real quick. It's like, oh yeah, that's this.
Yeah,
thing.
He slowly starts to tolerate her, and that's why.
He's like, well, that's that. That does this. That does that. And so then eventually it gets to the point to where he literally there's points where he just follows her and explains things to her in full stories,
exactly.
and even tells things that she didn't even ask because he's just letting her know. You know, whenever you like talking with people that you enjoy being around, so you just tell them about, oh well, yeah, this happened and that, and actually there was something related, and so the slowly opening up part is great. You see from the beginning to the end of it to the next game. The next game's also really good.
Mm-hmm.
So
we can't talk about the next one though.
Oh, I know. I'm not going to talk about it.
I'm just letting you know we can't talk about this specific thing. We can't talk about. That's why I've said one thing about it.
Yes.
The Last of Us 2. I'm going to say this as a hot take. You know, I'm going to say this hot take at the end of this.
Okay. Yes.
So people out there listening, listeners, gamers, and gameettes.
Yeah, you got to listen to the end because we got a hot take and the next game.
Oh my God, this is a hot take that pissed people. I said this in our Discord and it pissed people off.
Nope. Jeez. All right. You're fine.
So anyway, go through all this fun stuff. You make it to the next town. You see it's a big city, not a town. This place isn't my home. It is in the country. It's where Danger lives. Freaking whatever, Texas. Fun fact, you're about an hour away from where the game actually started. Yeah,
that's super cool. Yeah, no, so fun fact, I guess I could we lived very close to where the game actually started before here. Mm-hmm. Before here, we were even closer. Literally passed by it all the time. But yeah, so that was one cool thing. That was one cool thing whenever I saw the game for the first time.
So, continuing on, they make it to the city. They get attacked by bandits, where you also learn about Joel, where Joel has been a bandit before, because it's basically guys like, help me, please. And Joel's like, buckle up. Why? Do it. About to run him over, do all that. And they get a bus. One thing I'm going to gripe about, I forgot to gripe about this. It's a very nitpicky complaint. Let me pull out my notes.
It's a very nitpicky complaint. Nothing much. I would pull out my notes I have full of.
But I do have notes. Okay.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
Okay. Okay, there's some... Alright, one of the... I think I was drunk when I was typing this. I can't type.
That's even better!
It wasn't this. I know I did. I don't know why.
Was it like 3 days ago or wherever you were drunk or whatever it was?
It was about a week ago. But one annoyance I have, and I don't think it would bother you, bothers me on a technical level. Enemies spawn when they shouldn't be able to spawn.
Well, that is a problem.
Like, it's stupidity where, like, later on in the game, you're in a sewer. You're not the sewer, you're in a different sewer.
Yeah.
You run in this room. We're essentially in a room right now. There's one door.
Yeah.
I come in here, walk around, I pick up a figure, I break a figure, I steal a figure, do whatever with the figures, and leave. And next thing you know, a cutscene happens, and there's 5 clickers in this one room I was just in. This is a very nitpicky thing.
I will let you have that, though. It does make sense.
It's stupid.
I will let you have that one.
They don't pay good enough attention to detail.
I agree with that one.
But, that happens a lot in the game. But
yeah,
again, I don't like it. It's very nitpicky. It's not going to affect my overall...
But from story standpoint, but you can look past it because it's a game.
I'm not saying... When it comes down to the rating, it's going to get the same amount of Mark Ruffalo's as it would earlier.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. But yeah, it's just one thing.
You know what? No, we're going to make this a Mark Ruffalo's. I know our rating system, and I'm going to surprise you with it at the end.
Alright.
Are going to be our permanent...
Is it not a Mark... a permanent thing?
It'll be, as opposed to we did our first one where I said, we're going to do one every different. It's like phases of Marvel. We're not doing something stupid like that. We're doing something even stupider.
We're going to... Alright, anyway. I will give a normal system score, and then I'll do your system score. I'll give 2 scores.
It'll be the same system.
Alright.
Trust me, don't worry. It'll work.
Alright.
So, they run through the city. They're being attacked by these bandits that have military trucks. They have all this stupid stuff. Then you run into your next pair of protagonists, Sam and Henry. Brother and brother. This is another big thing. This is where I originally noticed. Running through, because you run through office buildings and stuff like that, where you notice the happy anniversaries. You get to notice all the pictures that developed this game. Mm-hmm. You pay a lot of attention to everything. Everything has detail. It makes it great. I love this game because of that right there. But you meet Sam and Henry. They are trying to get out of the city because they're being chased by these people, as smugglers. These bandits kill anybody that comes in. They have these one people walked in. They're not dead. Let's find them and kill them. Let's strap them by their girds and then make them suffer. I don't know what girds are, but it's something. I know it's a word. But eventually they make it through the city. They make it into a toy shop, which we're going to talk about another time. I really picked up the attention to detail.
Yeah. So earlier we were talking about a part that I noticed. This is the detail.
This is yeah.
Yeah, that was just letting anyone watching know that this is the part that we were talking about.
Sam and Henry are going through, all four of them going through a toy shop. Sam picks up,
I guess listening, but
a little toy robot. This is a very cool tyrant figure.
It is a very cool. So y'all,
if you want to see this tyrant figure, go check out Doken Wen podcast on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes. So very very quick story.
No, everything. This will be different.
Say it really good.
This will be for my review of your home state.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll see.
I will make a video reviewing your states. I don't care.
No, that's fine.
But anyway, he picked up a toy, and Sam is like, no, it's Henry. Henry's the older one. Henry is like, no, we don't do that. It's unnecessary. It's not needed weight. So it's like, yeah, okay. Puts it down. And I spent about 5 minutes. You only saw a minute and a half of this. I spent maybe 5-10 minutes trying to get it. So it's like, wait a minute. Did I see that right the first time? Also, another fun thing is I did this here. If you stand still long enough with Ellie, once Joel and Ellie become friends, Ellie will ask, hey, Joel, do you want to stay here a little longer? I can go kick some more rocks. And she just comes up with dialogue of just, you're sitting there, sitting idle, which is hilarious. It took me my 7th playthrough to find this. I played through this so many times, and everything I'm talking about right now, these small details, I found on more recent playthroughs, 6 or 7. 6th or 7th playthrough, it depends on which.
Yeah.
But you're in a toy store, Ellie goes over, because Sam and Henry are about to leave, she drops a toy, and Ellie stands right next to the toy. Just, you see her character model looking. And at first, I think I was on my phone whenever I was doing it, like I was texting somebody, could have been texting Danger or someone, but I'm messaging, and I just see her looking around, like, oh, she's doing the AI, just
looking around?
Yeah, then I happen to turn my camera away on accident and turn back, and I see her get up. It's like, wait a minute. The fuck was that? So I will go over there and look. The toy's gone. Wait a minute. And I reset it. I did this multiple times. I'm not kidding. You saw the final one where I eventually... That was the clearest I could get it.
Because it's so quick.
It's very quick. If you turn the camera away, if Joel's looking away from Ellie...
The intention is for Joel to not see it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's the fact that even... Like, I bet you the entire... Like, yes, it probably cuts immediately, but the entire animation actually plays. Of her.
Oh, it does.
And it's...
The entire animation... You saw her standing up.
We need... Like, you know how people, like, will go outside of the character and, like...
I bet there is.
I bet you there's showing of that somewhere on the internet.
If you time it right, you're gonna turn away and quickly pan for like a split second and turn back. You can see her pull her hand back and stand back up.
So it's amazing. I love it. It's like it's unnecessary, but it's so good.
You know what I shouldn't have shown you until we were here.
That would have been cool, but yeah, no, that was still cool. That was still really cool.
It was a good thing.
I love when games add things that are unnecessary amounts of detail, but it's still so good.
Oh, it's great. And like I said,
it could have just been the toy disappeared and she walked away. It didn't even have to show anything. But the fact that it showed her like sit up and then her hands like moving away from her backpack, she's like moving away.
I'm not kidding. I'll try and edit this in. Sorry for anybody other than YouTube. You won't be able to see this, but you can see this clip sitting in our nice, fun little game room we got of Ellie just standing up and grabbing. I don't know why. It was an accident, that's why I see it. But you see that, that's where I really start to pay more attention to the detail of how much work they put into this game.
Yes.
And it's also this where I was really playing around with the flashlights, and I'm just click, 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 click. So anyway, Sam, Henry, Joel, and Ellie go make their way through the city. Escapades happen. Sam and Henry get separated from Joel and Ellie because Sam is protecting his little brother, or Sam and Henry are protecting each other. Makes perfect sense. That part doesn't bother me in any way, shape, or form. It's just later on when he acts as if nothing happened. Because they find themselves, they jump off. Ellie can't swim. Fun little fact. It's not super important, but it is at the same time because it's only really ever used 3 times in the game.
Yeah.
But, go on. They make their way to a bridge after being chased by military truck and being split up. Jump into the water. They wash up on a beach, and you see Sam and Henry. Joel pulls out his gun and was like, "You motherfucker! You left us to die." So Nick, that's a big old chunk. We actually went through a big chunk of stuff, which is from Bill to from Sam and Henry. What did you think of those two segments? I think you may have said a Bill. If you said Bill's, then I just don't remember. You know,
Bill's segment was cool. I liked it. Sneaking around the area, like one of the cool thing is discovering the area. Here's a slight problem though. Whenever I try to remember Bill's area, my brain reset. Like it sets some places with stuff from Last of Us 2. And it's weird, and I don't know why, but for some reason my brain clicks, and Ellie is like the player model walking around. I'm like, that's not it. Because my brain will remember the character walking around, and it remembers Ellie in some cases, which is weird. Probably in like more open areas, like there's like a place where you start going downhill, or downstairs. And so I remember that. But Bill's segment was really cool. The freaking school, like I'm trying to remember it right now. Like as I'm remembering the school part, love the big guy.
Bloater.
The bloater. Yes, I remember the bloater. That was super cool. I remember the zombies chasing, like the chasing. There was like 4 chase sequences, wasn't there? There was a few chase sequences in that location. I think there was like one there was one before you get to like the bar area.
There's one where you, Bill, and Ellie are running.
And then one outside the school. Whenever zombies start breaking through.
Now, then that's technically not. You can kill them and be okay with it, but also at the same time.
Well, it takes a lot of ammo though, and the resources are a thing.
You gotta be good at the game, Danger. Then you never gotta worry.
Yeah, you know, true. Honestly,
get better.
At that point is purely skill issue. But yeah, I think having run segments are pretty cool because again, resources. If you're good at the game, cool. But if you're not, then you are gonna have to run a lot from these guys. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, if you got a perfect shot, cool. You can hit them all. But most players are not gonna be able to do that. Most players are gonna have to run through these segments.
Plebe.
And then the bloater was super cool. Scarred me for a very long time. The whole story with Bill was very sad, and the fact that they pushed everyone. And I did not even add up to that though about what you said about he's literal. It's like the superheroes supervillain thing.
Exactly. It's same character.
Same character, same grow up, same origin story. Just wait, how do they react to that? I did not notice that. So that's part what I did not notice.
That's why I prefer Bill as a character to it.
Yes.
Someone out there is going to be nitpicky. No, he symbolizes freedom. I swear, if I get a comment that says they symbolize freedom, I will laugh.
But the brothers segment, I remember there being the guy pleading for help, and then him shooting, and then there was the bus that stopped them. Then they lost the truck, and then they had to run from there. I remember going through the buildings. Weren't you in buildings for a while in that area? Weren't you in buildings for a while?
You run around the outside for a little bit, then you make your way into a building. You do make your way to like a little hotel building, which is fun to go kill them.
Yeah.
You can either do it professionally, like I can do, which I can do sometimes. Sometimes I forget the pattern, or you can just stealth kill them, which is amazing.
Stealth killing is so fun.
It is.
Like it's like literally another thing is like stealth takedowns in like Batman Arkham Knight. I love those as well. I love like stealth things. Or Assassin's Creed 3. Love the I just love stealth missions. I love those. But
no, you do have I say where we've made it to is probably 50-50.
Yeah, but I think it's really cool. But yes, the building. I remember a bunch of building segments. I thought those were cool. I remember there being a bunch of just regular guys, I don't remember much zombies in that area.
No, it was all human.
Yeah, it was human. Okay, yeah, because I don't remember zombies, but I remember humans. Those were super cool. And then they're also like they communicate. And they're a little more intelligent, which is one thing that I like. I mean, zombies of course can be more dangerous, but the intelligence of humans. That's what I think is cool.
And also, I'm thinking about this. I didn't add it in because it really wasn't important. But no, I didn't forget when Ellie got her first kill in the game.
Yes! She was
you
given the
forgot
gun.
about it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, okay.
I did forget. She was given the gun, right? And it was literally the moment.
She wasn't given a gun.
Was it not?
Joel, this is right after Bill.
I'm thinking of the part when
this is in the hotel. This is in the Seattle aspect.
Right, in the water.
They're climbing through a hotel. Joel accidentally goes into an elevator shaft. The elevator shaft falls down, breaks. They get separated. You find another bloater, which is a second bloater.
Yes.
Oh, there's 6 bloaters in the game. 6 bloaters.
Right, it was in the water, and then
Seven. There were 7 blood.
Doesn't he fall off like stairs or something?
No, he
like
gets kicked off stairs.
He gets kicked off stairs.
It's the hotel we were talking about.
Yes, he gets kicked off stairs into the water, and then the guy tries to drown him. And then
Ellie picks up a gun. Ellie been asking for a gun this whole time. It could be better. I could help you if I had a gun.
Yeah.
She picks up a gun, shoots him.
Yeah.
I shot the hell out of that guy, huh?
Yeah.
She sits down. I'm gonna be sick, and not like I didn't forget this.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a different part we were gonna talk about. I was gonna talk about later, but I just realized we're gonna have some nitpicky people like me.
But yes, that just hit me. Yeah, I remember that scene. That hit me like a truck.
It was
the
a good scene.
The second you said her first kill, like a truck.
Realistically, it's a very good scene because it shows more of their character. We talk about this. You can see a lot of their character.
Yeah.
Joel is terrible at consoling people because he tries.
Yes.
Later on, even after that, he say, "Make it through there." He's sitting there. He's upset. One, if you go show wise, I'll bitch about the show. You know what? I'm gonna explain to you my things after this. Separate thing. We're gonna do it in the review of Your Stupid State. We're gonna review. I'm gonna tell you the differences between the show and game that I don't care for. And you know what? Fuck it. In the show, Joel is upset not because Ellie disobeyed, because he told her to stay, because he is not strong enough to protect himself. That is fucking awful. Joel is badass. Joel is tough. Joel literally, I'm not going to say spoilers, does something impressive later on in the game.
Yeah.
Granted, the show handles it, I think, a little cooler. I will admit to that. But either way. So they're talking, and she's like, "I'm sorry, Joel. You were going to die." And he's eventually like, at the end of the hotel, he's eventually like, "Hey, Ellie, it's you or me out. It was him or me. I'm glad you chose me." That is his way of saying thank you. And then she's like, "You're welcome, Joel." Then that's where you realize these two have a better connection with each other than has been led on to be, because she knows that's the best thank you he's gonna give her. And now he gives her a gun to protect. You go clear out a little area. Then you cut through Sam and Henry, all that. I was gonna talk about that later, because Ellie's unfortunately doesn't do a whole lot of actual killing in the game. Like cutscene wise, that's one of the very few cutscene kills in the entire game.
Yeah.
Which makes it a very big thing for her, especially because that's her first kill, like human life she took, not infected, not animal. This one dude has a kid.
Yeah.
Could have a wife. Could have a husband. Could be into polygamy. Who knows? And she killed him, and then I have a big thing. I love when the characters have a realization.
Yes.
And that realization is death. Death is a hard thing for people to comprehend.
Yeah.
Especially, this is going to sound really awful to you, Danger. If you've never taken a life, this is a weird comprehension you do not fully comprehend. I have taken a life. Maybe a human, maybe an animal, maybe both. I could have killed God and you don't know. But whenever you finally understand the concept of death being gone, the entire world completely changes.
Yes.
And her world changed at that moment, because I killed someone, he's gone. This is what can happen to me someday. This is what happens if I'm not careful. This is what happens to me at the end. It's just a whole weird dynamic.
Yes.
That I love when a character comes to terms with death in their own way.
Yes.
One fun one is the Owl House. I've seen a lot of it all over TikTok. I want to watch it.
Yeah, I've seen it all over TikTok as well.
The collector watches, spoilers alert, Luz, whatever the girl's name, die. The first time he has any comprehension of death. He's a kid. No matter what he is, he's a super powerful Bill Cipher level kid.
Yes.
He thought all humans were toys. They die, you put them back together, they're back to normal. She died, and he's like, oh God, I can't bring her back. He cries for the first time ever because of the comprehension. I love, no matter what it is, when the game, TV show, whatever, gives a character's first time of death. It hits harder than anything, especially if you were a child. Ellie may be tough. Ellie could probably kick both Danger and I asses in a fight together.
Oh yeah, probably.
Maybe not me. Probably Danger. But
you have to realize how many people they're fighting and killing and
yeah,
what.
her, I'm talking about right then and there. She hadn't killed anybody.
Oh, okay, you're talking about that moment. Okay,
Yeah.
you're talking about that moment.
If we're talking Last of Us 2, oh, absolutely, she will destroy me 5 ways from Sunday.
Yeah, she does. She can just punch me once and I'll.
But anyway,
I act tough.
But anyway, it's a good showing of her character, and Joel is also doesn't know how to console her, but he's eventually like, it's okay, this happens. He's dead. That's essentially it. That's a dad way to go about it because it's it's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing on, that was a little side tangent, which I went completely off. Do you agree with me on the concept of death?
I understand. You don't understand it until it happens, but yeah.
Exactly. No, I'm saying like that whole segment where you can, like her character begins to shift a little different.
Yes, her. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Good.
But and another attention to detail that I love so much. It's like the more we talk about it, the more we talk about the details in this game, the story in this game, how it carries over into the other, like the rest of the story throughout the entire thing. I love it. Super cool.
So, continuing on, Sam, Henry, Joel, and Ellie are on a beach. Danger's getting up.
I am throwing something away. I am throwing away trash.
Oh, you have a trash can? Oh, you have a trash can in here.
I don't have a trash can.
You know, if you did, I don't remember anything 5 minutes after Wednesday.
We have a trash can.
Shit, it's 5 minutes after Wednesday. You gotta tell me tomorrow.
It's Tuesday.
Hey, Tuesday's after Wednesday.
You know, you're not wrong.
It's like how Sunday is before Monday.
We have everything in this game room. It's a nice game room.
You don't have a fridge.
Also true. I do want to try to get a mini fridge at some point.
Mini fridge.
Perfect spot for it. There could be a mini. We could put brisk tea. Or, oh my God, let's get
brisk tea. Is that how you're gonna draw me back here?
I will. When I get a job, I will buy you so much brisk tea if that'll get you back here.
No, you gotta buy the specific one that I've seen in one store.
All right. Well,
it's a watermelon. Watermelon.
Watermelon.
It's a green one.
I know what you're talking about. We
I've
tried some of it. It's gone. I know what you're talking about. We tried some of it, and then it's just gone.
Hey,
one day.
Game of Gamers fans, in the future, not now, because we have like 5 people who listen to us. Actually, 13 on our first one.
Actually?
Yeah!
Oh
13
my God.
people listened with like 3 likes. Probably came from both of our Discords put together, but you know what? That's okay. But if you like that, I love brisk tea. Not the basic. I like the fruit flavored. Like I have.
Yeah, you have the
strawberry
the
melon
one.
and blood orange in front of me right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want those. Danger likes Cheez-Its.
I love Cheez-Its. I love coffee.
And one of the best times, we're going to go real quick sign tangent before we get in. One of the funniest things Danger and I ever done, I think I was bitching at him about something, crunching on something. I said, fuck you with your Cheez-Its.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just,
oh, my God.
I am eating Cheez-Its.
But here's the funny thing. That was like the first time in like maybe like 7 months, 8 months that I've had Cheez-Its. But the one day I get Cheez-Its, like 9 months later, you predicted I had Cheez-Its. If you said it any other time in the last 9 months, you would have guessed it, but you never did. The first time, dude, I was like, are you in my house? It's like,
I'm sitting in your freaking garage watching you.
Yeah,
Anyway.
you're just in our garage, yeah.
So, continuing
you are in
on.
our garage.
Continuing on with this fun aspect, we make it through what is by far, world-wise, my favorite part of the game. Because we get to go through the sewer system with Sam, Henry, and Ellie.
Hate the sewer system. In a good way, hate it. In a good way, hate it.
I love it.
In a good way, hate it.
Because this also pays in the attention to detail.
Yes.
That I don't know if you picked up on. Because you haven't played it. So if you haven't played it recently, you will not entirely know.
No.
That whole thing is essentially useless. You play through. You don't need that part in the game in any way, shape, or form. You don't learn anything about anybody. You could theoretically omit that from the game. The game will be the exact same.
It's probably why I don't remember it. Like I gotta have images in my head, but nothing story wise. I remember. That's probably the fact that it does it. Yeah. So
no, there's no story.
Okay. That's probably why I literally have images.
The
in my
only
head.
story is you get to play with Sam. Sam protecting Sam.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
like I have images of it, but I don't know anything about it. No.
And there's people out there. I'm not one who's typically like omit stuff from games. I'll say omit things from movies. As I've gotten older and more cynical, I'll say omit if it means nothing to it. And there's a lot of games I'll play through. Like you take this out, you're literally useless to the story. But I like that part as its own separate thing because of the story it tells. You read notes throughout it. You learn about a man named Ish. Ish starts his own community in these sewers. He's one man living by himself. He has his own water system. He gets fish from the ocean, or whatever it is. I'm assuming it's ocean. Could be a giant lake. I don't know. I don't pay that much attention. But you learn, he lets people in. They have a school. They're teaching kids. They're raising kids. They're like, this is an actual community. He grows there, which is great. You read notes, and it's literally yeah.
I'm starting to remember.
It's
no.
beautiful.
It is.
And it's awful.
It is. Oh, I remember.
Because he's literally talking like, oh yeah, we let these people in. They traded with me. Hey, those people came back. I'm gonna let them offer to stay here. They stayed too late. These people are gonna come move in. We're gonna have a community, and they slowly built it up until an accident happened, and unfortunately, one clicker got in and tore everything apart. One of the saddest parts about that, I am an asshole. No matter how it is, I am an asshole. But I'm a sentimental asshole. I'm a sentimental cynic. Call me, I need this on a shirt, I'm a sentimental cynic. There is one moment in there, you crawl through all that, and this is going to be the only part we talk super heavily in this game as to this point, at least me specifically to this degree, because it is such a heartfelt thing. Because you're running around, there's kids there.
Yes. This sucks. I don't know what you're about to talk about.
You go into like a little like daycare looking area.
Yeah.
And then you find a note. They didn't suffer. And you look around. What do you mean they didn't suffer? And you look. You have little bodies put underneath the tarp. That I would love if it's show or game. It's never going to happen, but I would love a little hour-long segment of Ish and his whole segment. Just as it was when it was thriving.
It's just like maybe like a small animation.
Like DLC. Like how Left Behind is a little 2-hour thing of what happened before The Last of Us. 2 weeks prior. I would love that because that's a great, fun story right there to be told. You could probably stretch out a whole... If they ever went the Walking Dead route and just made ungodly, unjust shows, Ish. The Last of Us, Ish. The Last of Ish. The Ish of Us. One of those. The last Ish.
As soon as you said they started bringing people in, and that they had like schools. Like as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, because I remember the room, and I remember the story of like the person would like taking each kid like away, and then basically put them out of their misery before anything happened to them involving zombies or
because they were being right there the doors were being banged on.
That hit so hard when I saw it. And
especially like if you read like its notes, you can completely pass by this and not understand. This is another one of the attention to details where you don't have the game's not going to change in any way, shape, or form. You can go through the entire game without reading a single note. You read it, it just adds to it. Moments like this are why I like it. It would be a completely different experience if we went through the level and you didn't read all the notes. Exactly, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, you just wouldn't care. You just go through.
And like I said,
but when you read it, you know the story, you know everything.
And I'll still admit to it as someone who loves that part. It's still a waste of time. It just adds lore to the world. It builds on the world, and I like that. But anyway, you make your way out of the sewer. Sam, Joel, Ellie, and Henry are talking. They were into an ice cream truck, and it's like, yeah, this guy would go around playing creepy music, going ding, 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 serving kids this ice cream and sherbet and frozen yogurt and ice, because he's weird. And Ellie's like, oh yeah, you guys are having a weird time. Run on through, get attacked by more marauders, bandits, whatever you want to call them. They end up making the way out after being attacked by clickers and stuff. Oh, just reset. Okay.
Oh.
I'm looking at this. By the way, we have a video up right now with background music. I'm wanting to pick up my controller and play.
Yeah, like if he it literally is just like because that's all it is. It's just a part of the game. But you just feel like pick up controller.
Yeah, this isn't Left Behind.
Yeah.
Fun fact. That's how many times I've played this. This is from Left Behind.
Yeah, I know that. I this is definitely like DLC because I don't remember the segment with Ellie in a building. Like because I remember that. So I assume.
Oh, there's segments with Ellie in the building. You fake fan.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So
yes, Ellie in the building, but not this.
So anyway, you continue on. You make your way out of wherever it is you are. We'll just say you're in the middle of a downtown neighborhood, closer to where I live, something like that. Actually, closer to where Danger lives, something more like that. And then it cuts to them at night. They're just in a nice... It doesn't actually specifically show where they are. They're just in a house. They're out and they're just in a room talking. And they're all talking like, hey, come with us here. We're going to here. Oh, yeah, sure. Blah, blah, blah. Sam's sitting in the other room. Ellie walks in. Hey, Sam, I got you something. And hands him the little robot, which is which is why the symbolic, if you see it happening, makes it so much better. They talk for a minute, and she's like, all right, good night. And she walks out, shuts the door, and you cut to him pulling up his pant leg.
Yeah,
he was bit.
And it's that was just like, oh no.
It's
that's
sad.
all it was, just oh no.
It's sad.
It is.
Like, you really don't understand.
Like, you can't get attached to any character. Like every time you get attached to a character, they're gone.
Exactly.
Like, it sucks.
So
it wants you to feel what these characters are feeling so badly,
right?
And so it just hits you again and again, and then these side stories again and again and again.
Like, it's great. It's sad. Like, even one of them. I'm gonna say another note. These are I've read almost every note in the game. I don't think I've read every.
You yourself could rewrite every note in person.
I can give you a brief synopsis of them. One of them is it's a guy. It's dad leaves and leaves an older daughter in charge. We'll say 12, 13, with a son, and then she's like, "Dad's gone. Dad left me in charge. We don't know where he is." It's in that neighborhood right before you get.
Yeah, it's in the neighborhood.
My favorite gameplay part is the sniper section where you just shoot everything. I love that.
Yeah,
part.
and that's where that is, right? The sniper section isn't literally across. Like, isn't literally.
Yeah.
It's a long section, house very far, and it's one of the houses to the side. Yeah, I remember that.
I love that part. It's so,
it's so cool. I didn't play it, but I watched people play it, and I love it.
I'm terrible at shooters, but I love
sniper sections. I love sniping.
I could be terrible.
Any game.
I could be awful at every shooter in the game. I love sniping games.
I love sniping.
So, no, my bad.
No, I was just saying. I was just gonna say it again. In every game, I love sniping. I was about to name a list of games. That's way off topic. You just go ahead.
So, continue on. They wake up the next morning. And Ellie walks in, like, hey, go wake up Sleepyhead. He's been asleep. Opens the door, and then she's like, Sam! She's getting attacked. Joel's about to save Ellie. Henry quickly booms at Joel, misses, and is like, that's my fucking brother, man. Bang! And shoots him. And then he sticks up a gun to Joel. It's like, this is your fault. This is your fault. You want to know something good? Or you want to know something really cool? He was not blaming Joel.
That
next time, well, after this, we'll go find that scene.
And here's the thing, isn't he like not looking at Joel when he says that?
No, he's looking.
Is he looking at Joel?
He's looking at him, but he is not blaming Joel because it's not Joel's fault. He's blaming himself. That's why. That's why he shoots himself in the head. It's like, this is your fault. This is all your fault. Henry, don't blam. That literally on my most recent one, my 7th playthrough, it finally clicked. He's not blaming Joel.
I never picked up on that.
Exactly.
That's like, jeez, man.
The people out there, this is if you like my hyper attention to detail, this is what you're gonna get with Games of Gamers. You got hyper attention to detail, and then danger. No offense, danger.
Nah, it's fine, bro. Okay. I will tell you the one game that I've played multiple times, and I will probably play again tonight because I'm going to be talking about it. Maybe not tonight. Maybe tomorrow night.
Subnautica?
No.
Because you need to finish your series?
Yes, but no. Yes, but no. But that game, we'll keep going. But I will tell you one game that I've played so many times and I love so much. But yeah, we'll again at the end.
All right. So next thing you know, after that, they're just upset. It's quiet. Another fun part of that, a lot of the cutscenes have music. There's no music. It's dead silent. It's awful. Like I said, we're gonna watch this afterwards. People out there, I'll put a link. I probably won't put up a link. I'll forget. But go watch when Sam kills himself. We'll say that whole ending of that segment where you get to meet these new characters. What did you think? I know at the end of this because now we're slowly getting to like the end of the game. Like more or less, we're halfway point, but at the same time we're really not. We're more like 60 to 70ish% through.
Yeah, so we're through. So
Sam and Henry.
Love Sam and Henry, especially being a brother.
Okay.
Love Sam and Henry. So one thing one thing I was thinking about whenever I saw this whole segment is I don't know what it would be like to lose one of them or to like so one of the things is when you're taking care of your brothers, when mom and dad are not there, you are the one watching them. You're the one protecting them. You're the oldest, and that's what you've been told. Most people, anyway, have been told growing up is that you're the one to take care of them. And so, and even we fight all the time, but like at the end of the day, I would always want to protect them, right? I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to them. But if it was any scenario to where mom and dad are gone, and then literally they're on my entire responsibility. I do everything to protect them, and then I failed. No matter what happens, it may not be my fault at all. I would always, and I know this would happen. It could literally be the most I'm a very maybe the word just realistic is not the thing, but I can look outside of the box and I can see other perspectives really well. But I could still see the other perspectives, still look from outside the box, and still it would be like, it's my fault because, you're taking care of someone, you're watching them, and then something happens to them, and you could have prevented it.
Yep.
They wouldn't have known. And it'd literally be a scenario that I don't know, but I could have thought about it. Could have thought maybe I shouldn't go with these two to protect them. Maybe I shouldn't guide these two. Maybe I should literally go my own path. Maybe we should go away and hide. Maybe we should get out of the city or stay hidden in the city. Just whatever the plan was before. Because what we've been doing this whole time has gotten us through to this point. And so I literally changed one thing, and then that's when it ended. And so it really sucks. And so that hit me hard, especially when I was younger, because I would not want to lose either of my younger brothers. And so the fact that I have that responsibility just sucks.
I'm going to be honest. I did not care for Henry.
That's fine.
Henry was a brother. Problem was, he was an arrogant brother.
He was.
He was way too arrogant. And you play through it first time, he's a brother. Like, do what you told, do this, do this. You think he knows what he's doing, but at the exact same time, he doesn't know what he's doing. You play through it again, he becomes...
Little danger, literally.
Which little danger? Medium danger or little danger?
Both.
but
especially the younger one. Little
danger.
Yeah, little danger. Yeah, but I mean, he's a kid. Of course, he's gonna be like
Henry.
But yeah,
the teenager, the one that's closer, the one that's my age.
Oh, okay, yes.
The older brother.
Yes, okay.
He is overbearing.
Yes.
He is way too protective. I understand, but there's a segment that I picked up on it, and then I played through that whole segment again and realized it. Ellie and Sam are playing darts. Simple darts.
Yes.
And you know what? He's like, hey, be careful. They're darts. He doesn't say they're darts. He says, hey, Sam, be careful. Like, he says it as if these are going to kill him, as opposed to anything else. And you really pay attention, he's very arrogant. He's very cocky. And I do not care for that in his character. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. You do not go into the apocalypse cocky. You do not act as if you know everything. You're like, okay, we need to be careful. Not, okay, listen to me, I know what to do. The show does it well. I'm not going to do a whole lot of comparisons of the show. At this point, there's going to be one last comparison I'm going to make. Mm-hmm. Hear me out on this. Where the brother has never killed anybody. But he knows I don't know everything, and even says, I don't know how to protect my brother. And so he asks, okay, we're going to think through this. So we're going to think through this thing as opposed to charging head in or anything like how Game Henry does.
Yeah. It's
arrogance versus knowledge. The Game Henry is just arrogant. He may know stuff, but he's an overall arrogant character. Mm-hmm. And that, at least that's the way I perceive him, is he's good at what he does, but he does it in the worst possible way. As it just makes him come off as an asshole. Like, hey, be careful playing darts with this girl. Her dad figure saved us more than once, but be careful. Hey, don't walk too far to the left. Walk closer to the right because you're 5 foot from the edge as opposed to 6 foot. He's just overbearing. And I know someone out there may or may not agree with this. I've worked with kids, so I've seen protective parents, overbearing parents, and the right kind of parents. Those are three very separate kind of things. Protective is Joel. Joel is protective. You will see it later on. Later on in the game, he gets protective. He's not a parent up until this next sequence we're going to talk about. Well, at the end of this, he's not going to become a parent, but he's just protective. Overbearing is Henry. The right kind of parenting, which is what Joel does become, is learn from it. Granted, to be fair, you can't always learn from it in the apocalypse. I know.
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in general, he's an overbearing parent.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not care for that in his character.
Yeah.
Someone out there could be like, yeah, he's the best written character in fiction. Someone out there thinks that.
Probably.
There's a Reddit post I've actually seen.
There's always one person. There's always one.
There's Reddit posts where people are like literally call these two like one of the best characters, like not Sam, not Joel and Ellie, but Sam and Henry.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, there's always one. That's the thing. Whenever you're talking about anything, you're always like, there's someone out there. There's always one.
Like I said, more power to you if that's what you like. By all means, I'm not a fan of how they wrote his character.
Yeah.
At least in the game, on my like multiple playthrough.
What would have made him better? It would have made the ending hit worse. Is if he's finally starting to realize how to be a better big brother.
Absolutely.
And then that happened. As soon as he's starting to I'm realizing what I'm doing wrong. I know how to do better. This is what I need to do. And then that would
if he was growing as a character through it. And then realized...
you see you keep him a little bit longer, see him getting better, see him growing. Even have Joel talk to him hey, this is what you can do.
Let me tell you one other thing. At the end of it, we had a cutscene of when Ellie and Sam were talking, Joel and Henry, where Henry's like, I don't know what I'm doing, man. I'm doing the best I can. I just don't know what I'm doing. Because I like those kind of sequences where I don't know what I'm doing. You have someone say, hey, you're doing fine. Just this is what you're doing. And not even saying it in a rude way of be better like me. It's, hey, be better. That's all you can. It's phrasing. I work with middle schoolers. I've told you this.
Yeah.
Games and gamers may or may not know.
Yeah.
If you've listened to me on K.H. Hauser, I've talked to I work with middle schoolers. Tone comes a long way.
Yes.
And my God, did I not even... I know tone goes a long way, but my God, did I not understand how much tone means until I started working with middle schoolers. Because fuck you and fuck you are two very different meanings. And it's amazing. And that's what it is just one sequence of him basically saying, I'm doing the best I can. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm not doing good enough. With what happens next, I would have loved his character a whole lot more. If he's like, I feel like I've screwed up somewhere. That would have made that whole scene hit 10 times harder.
Yeah.
If as it's going on, I feel like I screwed up.
And then you're you feel like more not understand again, words. It's not understand, but it's you're okay, I understand what you mean. Yeah, it sucks. Okay, so you are trying to improve.
Right.
You
like I said, that little 5 extra minutes I could, more or less, probably was already talked about. And what we're saying probably could be out there in some hidden files of, and this, I wish I did better because I feel like I've screwed up.
Yeah, that would have been that, and then that would have made, it's already, it's a very emotional, sad scene.
Exactly.
But if they're, that's just extra weight on the fall. If they
like I said, like him saying, I feel like I messed up, and then, yep, you messed up. Your brother's dead.
Yeah.
He got bit.
And then, that would have hurt even more after.
Exactly.
It sucks.
And so, then you cut to, it is going to fall time, because this game takes place over the 4 seasons. Start off in the summer, fall, winter, spring. Cut to fall, they've made their way to somewhere in Wyoming. We're not entirely sure. Walking through, they want to run across a hydroelectric dam, and Joel starts explaining the hydroelectric dam. Are you link leveling too?
No. I'm so I accidentally turned on notifications.
What is your background?
It's the art.
It's the Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah, it's the Goku and Vegeta art.
Yeah, the LR5 Blue Rose. That's why I was like, man, that looks familiar, but I couldn't tell because
I see Zay talking shit about Fortnite. Hell. You're gonna go promote Zay, huh? Since he's talking about Fortnite.
No, I'm not. Zay, I hope you're listening to this. You have terrible opinions, but
especially about Fortnite, you say they suck. I saw a cutscene and it looked good.
Anything about Fortnite is garbage, so I agree with him on that. But that's why Games and Gamers does not condone garbage games. He didn't even pay attention. Sorry, the girlfriend.
So
anyway, cutting that, they go across the hydroelectric dam. Then it's, oh crap, we gotta go through the dam. Ding, ding, ding. Ring a bell. Next thing, hey, get the fuck away from our door. Tommy and Joel see each other again for the first time in, let's say, 15 years. There's no specific time frame. Let's say 15 years.
Yeah, just as a guess.
They're starting to realize, hey, they're using this hydroelectric dam, this plant, in order to fuel a town. And, that's what they're doing. Run on through. They're showing off the plants of the town, but he's also trying to remember, because remember, Joel's supposed to pass Ellie off to Tommy. That's been a whole big sequence of this game. And somebody had relayed this, and this made me think of a completely different way of The Last of Us. The Last of Us is an escort mission. It's an overglorified escort mission.
Are you talking about those missions and games that
get
you find extremely annoying? And you're like, man, I hate doing these missions. And they build a whole game around
it. Player from area A to area B. The Last of Us is that with extra steps. And somebody said that, and I was like, my God.
You're right, but damn it.
Fuck you, but yeah.
Yeah, and then literally earlier, freaking Caleb told me, it's like, oh yeah, Mario's an isekai movie. I'm just like, damn it, why
I sent you that TikTok.
You did. Here's the thing, he told me it like 2 nights ago, though. But yes, I know what you're talking about, though. But yes, like, I'm like, dang it, like, why'd you fucking do that?
Yep. But anyway, so you got through there, you see that, and then he's eventually, after saving the place, we're also going to talk about this, because it has one of my favorite scenes of the entire game and what's coming up. Anyway, they save the place, they're getting attacked by bandits, and Tom's like, yeah, it happens from time to time, we just deal with it as it goes through. And then Joel's like, hey, take her, please. I don't want to. It's not that, but essentially, will you take her? You know this place better than I do. And he's begrudgingly, he's like, okay, fine, fuck it, I'll take her. And then he's like, after everything goes down, then you have, hey, Ellie's gone. Where is she? She's taken one of the horses and ran off. So you go run through, following where she goes. You have one fight, one of the very few fights. I think I was telling you there's like 3 fights in the whole... No, I was telling my dad. My dad's playing through this. There are 4 areas in this whole game you actually have to fight. Otherwise, you can stealth through. It's great. This is one of those very few areas. But you're going through... You've run across a ranch, which if the show explains it a little better... This isn't the only one. I'm not going to refer to it. Like, I'm not going to do the comparison. But... You go in there, you see Ellie sitting at the top. Do you know the scene I'm talking about?
Yes, where she's in, like, the top room.
And it's like, man, did they really have to worry about what shirt with what skirt? And this is one of my favorite scenes in, like, the game. If you want to, later after this, I can show you my favorite cutscene of all time. There's one specific cutscene. I will bet you money you will never guess what game it's from.
If you show me the cutscene, I still won't guess what game it's from?
I mean, you're going to see me type in the name of it. But like I said, people out there, I know what this is. We're definitely going to talk about this game sometime on this podcast.
I'm sure. Yeah, again, that's one thing that I love about this, is it's going to, like, one, you get to relive and talk about games you love, but also it allows me to play a bunch of games, either replay a bunch of games or play games that I never thought I'd play.
And same for me, and it's vice versa. I'll play games.
And thankfully, Last of Us was one of the ones with, because I still remember, like, I remember and know a bunch of stuff that has happened and whatnot. So thankfully, it's one of these. And then later, let's say you pick a game that I've never played before, I have to play the game. Like, I can't just I've seen it before and I've like seen it a bunch of times and I've played it myself.
Well, problem is there's going to be some of those because unless you feel like getting an emulator on your PC, you can't.
Oh, also true. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because there's one place.
You're talking about older games, yeah.
Like some PS1 games, which to be fair, I can get you a site which you can just emulate without actually have to download. I think I told you about it. But
yeah,
anyway.
I think you're talking about
So anyway, going after that, she's sitting there. One of the most emotional scenes in the entire game, where Ellie's like, "You're trying to get rid of me, Joel. I thought we were a team. I thought we were friends, Joel. I thought you were my dad." Because she's sitting there talking, I was like, "I know you're getting rid of me. Everybody leaves me. Tess died. Riley died. Everybody I know dies or leaves me. Everybody fucking except for you." Fun fact about that, I listened to the podcast from the TV show, The Companion thing. That scene was improvised. Or that right there where she pushed and said, "Everybody except fucking for you," was an improvised thing. Ashley Johnson, they apparently spent 30 minutes trying to figure out how to get that scene to hit right.
You want to know something? Whenever I first heard that, I was thinking... This doesn't sound like them reading off a script.
No,
right? It sounded. One thing is, it sounded more genuine than anything else in the game. It sounded more genuine. So the fact that you're saying that, I love that.
Yeah,
because it sounded so genuine. I was like, "Oh, that's amazing."
And another thing is, I love because the voice acting goes really hard there.
Yes,
great. Because Joel's like, "Ellie, you're treading on mighty thin ice." The way you hear the bass in his voice, because Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, very good voice actors. Troy Baker, no offense to Ashley Johnson, I love Ashley Johnson. She is hot. I'm in love with her. Ashley Johnson, please marry me. I would. Troy Baker's the better voice actor out of the two. Because you know Troy Baker has a voice closer to mine.
I heard self-insert here.
No, I'm not kidding. I didn't know what he sounded like. He sounds closer to me than he
with
does
his actual
Joel.
voice.
Yes. Yeah. You know, after we're done with this, I'll pull it up on Spotify and let you listen to what his voice actually sounds like. And it's so I didn't realize Troy Baker sounded.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, again, it's like different. Like people who do voices, people who know how to like.
As
do it
Neil
well,
Druckmann in the podcast said, is a man of 1,000 voices.
Yes, literally, people that can do so many different voices is so cool. Like literally, one of my favorite things is like you won't believe. Like I've seen these TikTok videos like you won't believe these two do the same voices. It's like little happy fun side character. Then they're the demon boss of the.
It's like Bryce Papenbrook.
Yeah.
Or Ian Sinclair, one of those guys.
Yes, it is.
Sean Schemmel, because he's been in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes,
even.
Sean Schemmel. Oh my.
But anyway, so we'll go back. You know, they're doing all this. They run to the place, and Ellie and them are literally like, Ellie's like, please, essentially, don't leave me. You're the only thing I have left. I'll be scared if I go with anybody else. Because Ellie's also talking about one thing she shouldn't. She brings up, I know about Sarah, Joel's daughter. And that's where he's like, you're treading on mighty thin ice there. It cuts all through, and then she's like, please don't leave. Everybody left, everybody's gone, everybody fucking except for you. And then Joel's like, you're right. You're not my daughter, and I sure as hell ain't your dad. And then, I don't know why, that whole scene, that 5 minutes, is some of my opinion, gaming cinematic at its peak.
Yes.
I have not seen any cutscene, heartfelt cutscene, that has hit me more than that specific scene right there.
Yes, it is amazing.
Oh, in modern games. There are older games that are better, but that can match it, but not modern games.
Yeah. It is really good. I love it.
It is.
It's super good.
So then we continue on. After that, after a little firefight in the house, they get attacked by more bandits. Joel's eventually like, begrudging, okay, let's go. We're going to go to somewhere university. That's not Oxford. It may be Oxford. It's Go Longhorns. I can't remember the name of the university. I don't pay attention to stuff like this. I don't know why. I hyperfixate on little details, not the important story parts. So they go to a college, but before we go to that, this is another big segment of the game where we get to hear about, what do you think about this nice big segment of the game? You know, we just got off the weight of Sam and Henry dying. We met Tommy, Joel's brother. We think that Ellie's finally going to be off on her own, but then it's a begrudging of, fine, you're my kid now. Because this is a big scene here, because Joel says, you're not my daughter, but you're sure as hell not my daughter, but she sure as hell is his daughter. And that's a great scene right there. So during this little segment, what do you think of this?
The little segment. All right, so I'm trying to remember the part with the when they were still at the dam, because there was a bunch of interactions between Tommy getting a wife, them talking, then
Maria.
talking to Joel, talking about Ellie. Then like while Tommy's wife and Ellie goes off, Tommy and Joel go away. They talk for a bit, and it's when they go away to talk for a bit that Ellie runs away with the horses. Remember that? Was it not that?
It's when they go talk away for a little bit. The dam gets attacked.
Yes.
After that, they talk for a little bit, and this is also where Tommy eventually agrees. Because at first he's like, "No, I can't. I have a wife. I could have kids on the way." Yes. In the show, they do like, "Hey, I have a kid."
Didn't the wife also help convince him to do? No.
What happened? What happened is Tommy did not believe Joel had anything to live for after Sarah.
Yes.
I believe he says, Tommy, fucking do it. But then he sees how Joel is reacting to Ellie, and I was like, Joel, did you see me? I was doing this. These guys came in, blah, blah, blah. Joel, I did this. And you realize Joel cares for Ellie. So much so that he sees Sarah in Ellie. And that's why he's like, damn it. He got attached.
Yeah.
Fine.
He didn't want to, but yeah, like, darn it. Oh, well.
And I love, like I said, there's very small details you pay attention to, because I didn't pick up on that at first. That I didn't realize that's why he said yes, is because he saw the detail of him seeing Sarah and Joel.
Yeah.
I think at first I thought, I was like, hey, realistically, I have no idea why he said yes. Oh, she's happy. Okay, fine. But you play it again, it's like, okay, he doesn't want Joel to go through the same kind of torment again. So, Did you finish your thought?
No, so we ran it a bit, went back to it. The scene was amazing. Again, just typical fighting some guy was really cool. That whole scene hit well, but it didn't hit as hard again when I saw it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it hit well. I noticed it was different, but I didn't know why. Later on, I realized, oh yeah, like Ellie does not want everything Ellie went through. Ellie went through all this, but Joel was there. There's so many things happened, so many things dramatic, losing people dying, danger happening, betrayal happening, just so many things. But Joel was there since Ellie left. One thing Joel has always done since the very beginning has protected Ellie from any of that happening. And so the fact that Ellie realizes that Joel will no longer be there, she doesn't know if Tommy can do all this. She doesn't know what they can do because they are not Joel. They are not her father figure that has been there protecting her the whole time. You know? And you know, no kid would want to lose that, especially Ellie, not going with a total stranger, you know? Like, just total stranger. And so, it sucks. So...
you're going to see this in the Discord. I found my favorite clock.
You found your favorite clock?
Yeah.
There's a turn. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's going to look stupid, and for some that's not going to pay attention, but my God, you look at it, this is great. This is greatness personified.
But yeah. And then they were gonna head to university. I'm trying to remember. Tommy didn't go with them.
No, absolutely not.
Right. I remember. Yeah, I was
because he'd stay back at Jackson.
Yes.
That's just like, hey, you can always stay here. You got a home here, and that's where they're going back to.
Yeah. And so that was great.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they took off, and then my brain is going. They headed to the school/zoo. Is there something between that?
Yeah, the next segment, they're just going to the university.
They're going to the university.
They're going to the college.
Yeah.
And note time.
No, okay. Yeah, because I remember...
Because this is where you get to see the monkeys.
Yes, the monkey.
And...
The monkey! I remember that scene so well, the monkey scene. And then
another fun thing.
Watching the tape as well.
Another small attention to detail I missed. Ellie learns to whistle, because at the beginning of the game, she's like... Kid, what are you doing?
Yes, she does learn to whistle.
But you want to know something great?
What?
She gets better at whistling throughout the game. First she's like, Joel, I'm whistling. And next thing you know, she goes...
I only remember 3 parts. The kind of blowing, sort of whistling bit, and then whistling. Yes.
Yeah, she eventually goes to just...
Yes. Yeah, it's so...
You should appreciate what I just whistled.
Yes, I heard it. I am so... but that was good. I freaking... Gosh, just more stuff that carries on more than... And of course,
I know. Attention to detail is the biggest phrase of this game.
Of course she was gonna be excited to tell Joel about it. Like, it's...
She's a kid.
It's such...
And we're gonna have one detail that I'm gonna sound awful.
Okay.
Did you know you can't shoot the animals in this game?
Man, how did you find that out? Oh, please do tell.
My last playthrough, I may have done it on stream too. I don't remember. But I was just randomly like, I want to try something. I pull out one of my pistols. It's when we get to the Oxford. Maybe Oxford University. We'll say Oxford. I don't think that's right. But I pull out, there's monkeys.
Monkey!
I also did it. It was a dog. It was also in the stream because you get to see dogs. And I'm just sitting there. I want to try something. I pull out my rifle and shoot at them. They didn't even care. Huh? Yeah, I shot at animals, guys. Then later on, it was monkeys. I want to try something.
The monkey.
Bam! I shot. It wouldn't even let me. I pulled out the gun, and if you look at a party member, it goes, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that with the monkeys. And I have this in notes. Can't shoot monkeys. Very sad.
The monkey.
And in case anybody out there...
Yep, there it is. There. Can't shoot monkeys. Very sad.
So, anyway, they go through Oxford. This is essentially another big story thing, but at the same time really isn't, because you just get to see a little bit more of the effect. I had the biggest jump scare of my life in here, though. I was legitimately terrified. We can go watch... You need to watch it in my stream. It's hilarious. But run on through. There's a segment of the building that's full of infected. Has a bloater at the end of it. and I'm running through. I kill the area. I'm gonna say this. In there. If you want to go watch it, by all means, it's hilarious. I still find it funny. I'm sitting there. I'm trying not to alert the bloater. I don't know how, but he gets alerted. So I kill this one. I kill that one. I kill that one. And I'm like, all right, let's go take care of this bloater. And so I'm at this doorway, and here's the door. I round the corner, and the bloater is right there.
I feel like I know which area you're talking. Is it like full of like?
This is dorm area.
The dorm area. I think I'll have to watch it. I'll have to watch your clip. I'll watch it later. But I feel like I remember this area.
Yeah, and oh my god, it terrified me because I was like, man, I've done so good at not alerting.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
There it is. Yes.
So you go through there. You also come to find out because they were sent there to find more fireflies for the lab, or if not, another way of hey, where to go. So going through, lo and behold, fireflies are gone. They've been killed off, or they've left. Find some notes. They get attacked by more bandits. Joel then fights off the bandits, falls off a 2-story thing, and gets impaled by a rebar.
Yeah.
And so, after a little bit of painstaking of, you hear Ellie, Joel, get up. She doesn't know what to do. Yeah. And she's afraid. She's fearful. It's great. She's beautiful. It's great. And she's like, I don't know what to do. Joel, help me. Cuts to, her in the snow. We're going to do this. Joel taught her how to hunt, taught her how to survive. So she's taking care of Joel. Pulls an arrow back because it's a fun rabbit scene, and the rabbit comes out in the snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I hope people like her content. We're a bunch of babbling idiots.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, go through that. You get to meet David.
Yes.
David is an asshole.
Yes.
He's a creep. He's a pervert.
Yes.
So, we're going to quickly skim through this because we're reaching the end of the game.
Yes.
We're an hour and 40 minutes into this thing, and we are reaching the end of the game. Honestly, this is an 11-hour game. We're making pretty decent time about going into good detail.
Yeah, we're cutting it down by 10 hours.
No, yeah.
Well, 9.
If you know what you're doing, 9. We'll say it's fair. My dad thinking it'll take him 14 hours to beat. So we'll say it's cutting off half a day. So go through here. Ellie shoots off a deer, kills a deer, chases it down, runs into David. And is like, hey, you want to pass me some meat? If you give me antibiotics, sure, you can take the entire deer. All right. James runs back to town. There were 2 of them that went out because they leave in pairs, safety. So he comes back with the antibiotics, trade off, and the whole time that's going on, though, David's talking about, you know what? I believe things happen for a reason. You want to know why? Because I sent a group of fellas back down to the city a few miles back, and they were attacked by, get this, a man, and he was traveling with a little girl. And he knows Ellie and Joel are who they're after, killed their men, which is sad. And he still hands it over, granted it's a trap so they can follow him back, but still, I like the amount of effort they put into the characters because every character is different in their own way and unique and memorable in their own way. David's smart. David is cunning. Henry is arrogant and childish. Tommy is tough and begrudging. Joel is just an asshole and he's tough, but he's protective at the exact same time. Ellie is a teenager. The game does really well at molding their characters into what they are, making them better, much more unique than Sora and Kyrie are similar. Roxas and Ventus are similar. I'm using Kingdom Hearts things because, people out there may not know. Kingdom Hearts, my favorite franchise.
Yeah, kind of in the name.
Not here.
Well, yeah, you're right.
This is Games of Gamers. I'm Hayden here. I'm like KH Hauser.
Yeah, KH Hauser on YouTube.com.
/ KH Hauser 604. 60. It's like 6040. But anyway, she goes back to Joel. Said, "Hey Joel, I ran into these things. I got antibiotic." And then she gets attacked by these. We'll not call them marauders. We'll just call them survivors because these are not marauders. These are just survivors. David's group went back to go find them and kill them. So she's like, "Oh shit, what do I do?" Gets on her horse, runs off. Gets on her horse. Callus is the name of that horse. Runs off and gets captured by David. Joel wakes up and in a sickly state, which doesn't make a lot of sense because he struggles to get up and then he takes out a group of them, which is fun. I like that sequence of it because they know Joel's a threat. They don't realize he's been hurt, but they're running from him because when you start playing as Joel, you run after a group of 5 of them. And every time they get closer, like, boom, 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 shit, he's getting close, run! And they turn and book it. until you corner him in a house, you kill all of them. Joel goes badass mode. It's like, hey, shoots him in the legs. All right, your buddy here pointed to a spot over here. You point to the exact same spot. Points to a spot on the map. Okay, bang. Fuck you, man. I told you where I was. Oh, don't worry. I believed him. Bang. Then, Ellie wakes up in a prison cell. You come to find out that David and his group are cannibals. They eat people. But that's not why they want Ellie. That's not why he wants Ellie. This is a lot of thing where he saw the vindication in Ellie whenever she was sitting there holding this bow and arrow, threatening him. I'm gonna put a arrow.
Bow and rifle. The next powerful weapon.
Yeah, I know you just shoot a gun that just more momentum, makes the bullets go faster somehow. But she had an arrow pointed at both of them. I'll put ditto for Buddy Boy. I'll put an arrow right in between your eyes. He loved the vindication. He loved the strength that she had, the belligerent attitude she has, to an awful degree. Because you know what David wanted to do with her, right?
Yes. No, not gonna say it, but yes.
Well, I mean, we got to. It's part of the plot.
People can guess.
He wanted to marry Ellie.
Yes.
The show makes it a little more clear, but but it's not another comparison.
He's a character you're willing to hate. Like there's so many different things to hate about this guy. Like,
and he wants Ellie as his queen.
Yes, he is a very not likable character.
No, he's not.
He is not.
Someone out there likes the fact that his character is very clear from the start. And you know what?
Sure.
If that's the case, I don't like him as a character, but I can respect the fact that you kind of know his intention when it comes down to it.
Yeah, immediately. Like, they don't want you at all thinking like, oh, this is like okay character. They don't want you to think that at all.
He's an asshole right from the get-go. He's smarter. He also makes it clear he's smarter than Ellie.
Yes.
Travel with a guy and a little girl just like you. That's my Joel impression. It wasn't that good. But, so, anyway, Joel then goes to the place. There's a blizzard going on, which I'm going to bitch about this part. I fucking hated this blizzard.
You hate the blizzard part?
Take a guess at why I hate the blizzard.
Snow.
No.
No.
I hate the blizzard because they make the thing of, I can't see shit out here. And you're in the pitch white. You can't see shit more than 5 foot away. There's a guy standing at the, think of it like your street. It's so clear, so thin you can't see anybody on the other side of your road. Somebody's standing 50 foot that way. You can't even see them. There he is!
Yeah.
There he is! And he's pointing at you. Where am I getting shot at from?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I do not care. I hate...
They shoot you way before they... Like, it doesn't even make sense.
They did it because of what they said. We can't see nothing. There he is. He's on the other side of that wall, hidden in that cabinet that's locked up in another cabinet.
Yeah. Inside of that house where no windows or anything, I would be able to see it. My X-ray vision goes.
Exactly. They got freaking X-ray vision. So anyway, he goes through there. Joel goes through running through all that fun part, killing everybody because Joel's a murderous, awesome asshole. Ellie is fighting her own battle without Joel. And that is against David. David's trying to, now at this point, because, he realized that Ellie wanted to go with him. He's trying to kill her. So she has her own big fight in not a bar, just a diner.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's like a diner, but it has like a bar in the middle, though. I know what you're talking
about. It's a diner.
It's a diner, but there is a bar, but it's a diner.
It's like the pizza bar we went to earlier. That's exactly what that place.
That's exactly what it was.
So she's sitting there fighting. She eventually does kill David, even though her hands, she's getting gagged. She's not into choking. We know this at least. But
oh my god!
I had to slip a stupid joke into there.
Oh my god!
Somebody out there appreciates it. Hopefully. Does that look like a Red Eyes Black Dragon head on there?
On where?
My 5-headed dragon. Top left.
I mean, not really.
Okay.
Not really, no.
So anyway, she kills him and goes ballistic because she stabs him with a machete. And just going, stops. And Joel comes in, grabs her, and she's, get the fuck off of me, chicken shit, all this stuff. And he's like, hey, calm down, baby girl, calm down. And this is where you really realize how much Joel cares for Ellie. This is his new kid. Then you cut to the next part, which is your zoo area, where you get to see them walking around with giraffes and all that fun jazz. And then you can tell they're getting close to the end game. They're getting close. Like this point, there's an hour, maybe an hour and a half left in the game. So this next part, more or less, aside for the giraffe and then her like, hey, what's going to happen? I don't know. After this, Joel, we'll go anywhere you want. Because I know you did all this for me. We'll go anywhere you want. You want to go back to Jackson? We'll go back to Jackson. You want to go back to Seattle? We'll go back to Seattle. You want to go live in freaking Mexico with, I don't know, Sam and Henry? We'll go live in Mexico with Sam and Henry. So you get to see a lot of their character, how much they truly love each other. It's never said of, I love you. It's always an implied, though, at this point, because you really see the development that they grow throughout the entirety of it. That's why I love how they portray these two characters, is you see them because family.
Yeah.
People out there, I just made hand gestures of fuck you, okay, peace symbols, thumbs up are good, knuckle bump, fingers clasped. I don't know why I did that in that order, but it makes sense to me. So, go through all that, then they make it to... We're not going to go through the next part because you just fight some more infected and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's still a game. Yes, it's amazing storytelling, but it's also a game. So, like, and that's where the part where I, like, forgive the zombies spawn in areas that don't really make sense. It's a game.
No, I know.
Yeah,
like, it's because of all the greatness of this game, the fact that there are flaws like that stupid flaws. Like, they could have at least had, like, a door get busted open. Oh, man, we can't open this door.
It's like it's like a completely sealed up door. Then, yeah.
Like, we're in this room right now. If I come back in here and this attic door is busted down, fine. I will forgive it at that point.
That makes sense, yeah.
But if you walk in this room, wall, ceiling, wall, one door.
Floor, no basement, and then magically zombies are in here. Then,
that bothers me.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to be...
add a door.
It makes sense to be bothered by it.
So anyway.
But also...
Though, at this point, they are going through... There's another... Like, the final time that swimming has any sort of thing for Ellie, because they are climbing a bus in a big current of water. Ellie falls in the water trying to save Joel. She's unconscious. Joel's sitting there performing CPR. Then you have some Firefly guys... Good spoilers, this Firefly guys coming, hey, yo, boss, there's a guy here, and he's like, get the fuck away from me. Then you cut to them in a hospital, Joel waking up with talking to Marlene. Hey, we got this, everything's good. Good job, Joel. Where's Ellie? She's getting prepped for surgery. Surgery? Yeah, we gotta remove the virus in order to get a cure from it, but it infects the brain. So then if you realize at this point that Ellie's gonna die because they have to cut into her brain and more or less cut her brain open in order to get it. And you do that, she's dead. And Joel, being this tough ass, yeah, no, you're not gonna do that. What about her choice? Do you really think she'd want to live, Joel? Because if you can't, you say you can protect her, but what about when you can't protect her? She gets raped, she gets killed, all these bad things that happen. What's gonna happen then? Would you rather the world be better, or would you rather her be alive? I mean, we know how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So, it's also, this is another parallel to the beginning of the game. We'll get to it, I'll say the parallel. But Joel, at this point, is getting escorted out. These guys, he sees his backpack, and is like, okay, fine. He has two military guys, I think it's two. Goes, knocks one of them out, and pulls out a gun, and has him pinned against the wall. Shoots him once. Tell me where I'm going. I don't have time for this. Boom. Where? Boom. Where?
Yeah.
Second floor. Thank you. Bam. Kills him, grabs his shit, and Joel decimates. Goes through wiping out every Firefly in his way, which is a cool part. I will say I like the game. The show did it a lot better because Joel in the show is a military veteran. Like, it was shown once, but he was in the military. He's a military veteran. And he's just wiping them out. Like, he doesn't say anything. He's just wiping, bam. He sees a shadow of one of them through a glass. Bam, takes him out with a headshot. He's so much cooler in the show at this one point. He's not cool at any other point in the show because he doesn't kill anybody. But it's all that. So he runs on through, and runs into the surgery room. Sees Ellie on the table, sees a doctor with a scalpel, and this is the stupidest part of the game. Hold this bottle. You're holding a scalpel at me with a gun pointed at you. It's like, stay away. Bam! And he gets shot. I don't know why that's so funny, but it's an idiot right there.
Yeah, you made it.
the idiot right there. So he then unhooks her, starts running out of the building. And it's a big parallel to the beginning of the game, because the first time you play as Joel, you're carrying your daughter through the streets. With the last time you play as Joel, you're carrying your daughter through the building. Yeah. And being chased by all sorts of things, trying to avoid them until you get to safety of a vehicle. And it's a great parallel because game starts as the game ends. And that's great. He eventually makes it out, runs into Marlene, and Marlene's like, hey, Joel, let's talk this through. We're going to save Ellie. Cut to Ellie in the truck, Joel talking, and he's like, hey, kiddo, what's going on? Where am I? What happened? Well, it turns out there are dozens like you, actually, and none of them work. None of these people were able to save them, so everything's gone. Ellie's heartbroken. She's distraught. She's legitimately heartbroken. Then he cut to Joel talking to Marlene, and him eventually, she's like, hey, we'll take care of this together. Her getting shot, and then she's like, we'll hunt you down. No, you won't. Bam! And kills her. Then, cuts back to another you play as Ellie at this point, walking over the vehicle, ran out of gas. They're not far from Jackson, and they're just looking over this hill, and they start walking, and Joel's like, you remind me a lot of Sarah. Sarah would have liked you. And then he's doing the final thing, which is really, this is his kid. He sees Ellie, this is 100% my kid, because he's comparing his old kid to this new kid, not in any negative way, but she would have loved you. You would have loved her. And that's such a good, for his character, that's good, but for the overall arcing character, it's terrible. Because Joel wanted the virus wiped out. The virus took everything he had, and then granted, he would have lost everything he had, but he would have saved the world. It makes him seem he's very selfish. He's 100% selfish. People out there I've seen call Joel a great character. He's such a heartfelt hero. He's not.
But he's still a broken character.
He's 100% broken.
He was able to handle it better. It's the same thing. Two different characters with the same story. He's still that character.
Yeah, but and the thing is, like I said, people say his choice at the end makes sense. It doesn't.
Also true, yeah.
Joel is by far, and this is going to be my hot take right here, The Last of Us 2 the only reason people hate it is because, spoilers, I think you know this.
Probably.
Joel dies.
Yeah.
Other than that, you take that part out, it is as much of a masterpiece as this first game.
Yes, I cannot say for sure. I assume it is, because again, I didn't see the whole thing.
I'm going to spoil the ending. For you.
Okay.
So, The Last of Us 2 is a revenge story.
Okay.
Ellie spends a whole game trying to kill this one girl, Abby. She has a goal. Mm-hmm. Well, compare it to...
I know that part.
You get to meet all these great characters. Characters you like die. Characters you meet new characters that you befriend and all this. Granted, it's a lot longer. It's 30 hours to beat. That's a bit too long, I'll admit to that. But the game itself is as much of a masterpiece, and people are bitching about the ending. Because Ellie gets to the point where she can kill Joel's killer. And you know what she does? Lets her go. Get the fuck out of my sight. Don't let me see you again. And people are bitching. She had a whole story. This is what her whole goal was to do this. And I played through 7th time. Wait a minute. Then I quickly played through 2. It's literally these parallels. People are just awful. So 2 is as good of a game, if not better, than 1. And this is my hot take.
I have not played 2 myself, so I can't even debate.
Someone out there is going to bitch at me. But
I'm sure. There's always one, and with that statement, there's probably a million. But
like I said,
yeah.
If you really think about it, the only reason you hate Last of Us 2 is because Joel died. If Joel was alive, you would consider it as great as a game as 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll end the game right here with Ellie saying, Joel, swear to me that you're telling the truth, because she knows something's up. Because Marlene probably would have said something prior.
Yep.
We know last time they saw each other.
Yeah.
But, she slept through all this, so she knows something's up. She didn't even see Marlene. She saw none of this, so she knows it's up.
Yeah. So,
and, the end credits roll. Joel's like, bitch, I swear. Okay, and then credits start to roll. And then cut, and that's the end of that's the end of Last of Us 1. So it is by far one of the best games made, at least in my lifetime. 100% without a doubt. Does it have flaws? Yes. Could the ending be a lot better? Absolutely. But it's still by far a masterpiece of a game. What do you think, Danger, on this last final segment? Because now we're talking to, what do you think about Joel's overall choice? Compared to how we've seen the game. Because I'll say, for his character, it makes sense. Because fuck you to I love you. I don't want to lose you like I lost my daughter.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's why I keep bringing it up. He is a broken character. So, of course, like you said, he found his world. Like, one lost his world, one found his world, and he wants to protect it with everything. That is his world, and a world that is gone, and a world that he's seen that is broken, is it even worth fixing? Because, he's gonna lose his world to try to fix everyone's, and it's a world that may not even fix, because it's already so broken. Like, everyone's killing everyone. Like, there's it's hard and impossible to find peace in this world. And if same thing with Ellie thinking Joel is her piece, any problem that they've gone through, any danger, any life-threatening situations, any surprising new things, Joel's always had the answers. And so Ellie's gonna, of course, look to Joel as her world. It doesn't matter where we go, Joel's there. Joel's gonna let everything be okay. Same thing backwards. Ellie's been with him through the whole way. He's protected Ellie through the whole way. He's protecting everything. If he's not protecting that one thing, he has nothing. No matter where he goes, no matter where he is, Ellie's going to be there, so he's protecting it.
Millie Bobby Brown got engaged. 11. From Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. Alright, okay. Cool. Yeah, he's looking at your phone. I was confused what you were looking at.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Why are you going through your stuff?
Wow, so now you've been paying attention. Anyway, but yeah, so I think that's really cool, and that's why I really love the dynamic between Ellie and Joel. About if you go through the whole game, you realize before they don't have each other, and they've basically both lost everything. They've been together the whole time. They're all each other's got at that point. So of course Joel, while I'm sure most people, no matter most people that are not broken, would be like, okay, I understand this is for the good of the world, but this person who's broken, with a now adopted child who's also broken, has seen the world is broken, and that it's not worth it. There's no good out of it. It's not going to be worth it. I can't do it. And so while probably for the world, obviously not the better choice, it is the choice that you can't disagree with either.
Right.
I mean, you can, of course.
Okay.
Anyone can disagree with anything.
Okay, it's one of those. If you look at it through his eyes, yes. If you look at him out of his eyes, yes. Because it's double-edged sword technically.
Yeah, it is.
And that's where it's a good ending. Don't get me wrong, but it's a big flawed ending.
Yes, but also, and then here's the thing: if they get the cure from Ellie, right? If they have the cure. Who's not to say that they're gonna lose it in 2-3 weeks?
Oh, you could be right on that.
And think about the world you're in. Think about how many places get raided all the time, from people and zombies, and just lack of resources. Just it's such a broken world. Even if 10 places around the world had a cure, chances are it still wouldn't even bother as much, because it's just a broken world at that point. It's an apocalyptic world, and of course you want to protect all of your world you have left. You want to protect everything you have left. Everything you were willing to live for. Because if they're gone, and then everything goes south, then what are you going to do? You can't just get that back again. Not easily, not anytime soon. So it's just why I agree with the other route as well.
Oh, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying from an outward point of view.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Joel's an asshole.
It's the
Joel.
It's the trolley thing. It's like leave it alone. It kills 3 people, but if you change it, it kills 1.
Yeah.
It's the trolley scenario.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what it is.
And like I said, it may it's just all semantics.
Yeah.
But overall, The Last of Us, great game. It has a lot of fun parts to it.
Great game.
I love the way it handled stealth.
Yes.
I love the gameplay itself. My dad's never played stuff like this game, so when he's done with this, I'm gonna have him talk about this game too.
another Last of Us episode.
It's gonna be like 15 minutes. He and I have already discussed. He's gonna come on the show from time to time.
He's just gonna talk about his personal experience with the game, and then that'll be cool. I'd love to hear that.
This
That'd
game,
be cool.
you know what? I'm gonna be an asshole. Patreon. You want to hear my dad talk about games?
A Patreon exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, we should do a Games and Gamers Dad edition.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah. So you record yours, and I won't be recording mine.
Record your brother?
Yeah. No, he's not my dad.
No, it's Game and Gamers Family Edition.
Yeah, Game and Gamers Family Edition.
This is Hayden in Danger.
Yeah, this is Hayden to make sure that it's a Family Edition.
This is Hayden in
yeah, y'all can't hear it. Here's the thing. I'll say it after the recording. I'll say it after this. But man.
But yeah, so overall, Last of Us, great game. By far one of the best games of my lifetime, his lifetime, of this generation, I will say. Realistically, it is. Someone out there will probably sit there and can come up with nitpick reasons. There's probably things we forgot to talk about.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Especially me.
Because, in case you didn't know, Danger Tech talked nothing about the game unless I asked him a question.
Well, because you have the knowledge about it. You've played it 7 times, so of course you're going to talk about it more.
But, like I said, my favorite part, we'll say an overall favorite part of the game, then we're going to end it off with our adios and whatever our next game is. Because I don't know what our next game is. I think I do. It's probably Spider-Man.
Probably Spider-Man, and then I have another one.
Oh, wait, you got to pick one.
Okay. But alright, so here's the thing. It is either Spider-Man or Little Misfortune.
Do you have Little Misfortune?
We'll have to find out.
Because it's $20.
So Little Misfortune is a funny game.
No, I know.
And the story is pretty good.
So
probably if you
I'll let you pick. I'll let you pick at the end of this.
Okay.
But whenever we're done, I'll let you got while I'm talking about my favorite
I think it's gonna be Spider-Man. Like I'm not even gonna launch. I think it's gonna be Spider-Man.
Okay.
Because I played Spider-Man so many times.
So we're gonna talk. So to end this thing, my overall favorite part of this game, as a whole, it can be one favorite specific thing. We're gonna do this at the end. I didn't tell Danger this, so he's gonna do this. Pick one specific aspect of the game, whether it's a cutscene, whether it's a segment, whether it's a development thing. Like, characters develop. What is your one favorite thing from The Last of Us? Like, no matter what, you will never forget from this game.
I think the build between Joel and Ellie. Like, yes, there's many amazing things in this game, but one thing from then till now that I've never forgotten is the build between Joel and Ellie.
Okay.
From the beginning to the end. Out of everything, I've never forgotten that. From the beginning cutscene of Joel losing Sarah to the very end of them saying, like, are you sure, like, there was no other options? Like, yeah, I would never lie to you. Yeah, I'm telling the truth. And then take off.
Okay.
Like, I love everything about that. And then and I knew it, because it sounded so different, the freaking improvised scene. I didn't know it was improvised, but it sounded different to where it sounds improvised. Like it's such a good scene, and I fit that in as part of the build up. Like the scene's great,
100%.
But I feel that as the build up part. So the build up part is the whole thing.
And you like the build up. My one takeaway, that one scene.
That one scene.
That one specific scene where they're in the room.
That
is, like I said, one of my favorite scenes of gaming peak. It is a peak gaming scene. I don't care what anyone says. That is my one true takeaway from...
Yeah, it is an amazing thing. Story, animation, the characters, the playing the game. It's a fun game to play.
So, Danger, are you ready to hear our rating system?
Sure.
It's not going to be Mark Ruffalo's, don't you worry.
All right.
It's Brendan Fraser's. 1 out of 10 Brendan Fraser's.
Oh my god, you have no idea. Tyler has been talking about the whale.
I want to see it. Don't say anything.
I'm not.
Okay, so I will give this game a 9.5 Fraser.
It's 5.9 Fraser?
9.5.
9.5. I was about to say like 5.9.
It's a 9.5 Fraser.
Alright, 9.5. I will give it. It's either 9.5 or 10 out of 10. Honestly, just because of how great this game is, how much I've thought about it, and again, I love this game so much, and I myself have like barely even personally played it, but I love this game so much. I think I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna fall in love with it even more, and I already am gonna give it. I want to give it a 9 out of 5 right now. If I played it all the way through, played it more than once, I would love it even more. I'm giving it 10 out of 10.
Alright, this is going to be the first... Okay, so we don't have a 10 out of 10 yet on the thing. We have a 9.75 Fraser.
9.75. Alright.
Fraser.
Yeah,
You can't forget the
9.75
Frasers.
Fraser. 9.75 Fraser. That's what we'll give it, and then someday we'll find the 10 out of 10.
Yep.
The very rare...
The very rare 10 out of 10 Fraser. And if we get 10 out of 10, it won't be Fraser anymore, it'll be Hugh Jackman. If we give something to Hugh Jackman, oh, then that is a perfect game.
Hugh Jackman is a 10 out of 10?
That's a 10 out of 10 for both of us.
Okay, alright. 10 out of 10 for both of us is Hugh Jackman. I will agree with that. I'm so excited for Deadpool 3.
So, with this, thanks all for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Danger, what's our next game going to be?
Spider-Man.
Great. We're going to play...
PlayStation, Sony Spider-Man. I guess now I'm seeing too. Man, Spider-Man... That'll be something. I love Spider-Man.
We're going to talk about Spider-Man hopefully in 2 weeks.
Hopefully. I will play Spider-Man
as soon as I leave tomorrow.
As soon as you leave, I will play Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man.
I'm not going to stream it because I know it's a longer game. I'll just play through it on my own.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm not streaming that. I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah, I don't trust you streaming. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So, I want to say thanks all for listening, gamers and gamettes, dudes and dudettes, lads and lassies. Danger, thank you for being here.
No problem. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I know. It should be the other way around.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
So, as we're now going to always say, GG's and good night, everybody.
See ya!
Next time on Games and Gamers, Spider-Man by Insomniac.